Chapter 1456. Outside the source. Fong Ping's real body materialized, standing outside the door, saying loudly, "Senior Xu Xiang, I'm here to visit." Fong Ping's voice reverberated in the source. At this moment, almost all the powerhouses in the source heard his roar. Why was this guy here again? Of course, this time he did not barge in directly, but waited outside the door. The Emperor and the others were even more puzzled. Did this guy not just agree to kill Dong Wang? Why did he come after Qin Fengqing? Did he contact Xu Xiang and the others on purpose? Then he should look for Heavenly King Garrison. Everyone was puzzled, but no one cared about Fong Ping. It was fine as long as he did not come in. After leaving the source, a part of these Emperor's power had to be suppressed in the source. Even if the Emperor and the others left the source now, they might not be Fong Ping's match. This guy was a professional underhanded person. It was not surprising that he could kill an Emperor casually. Fong Ping roared. After a while, the door vibrated, and Xu Xiang walked out of the door. However, Xu Xiang's aura changed greatly when he went out. Although he had to suppress the cracks inside the source, the difficulty was much lower. Outside the source, through the door, transmitting power to suppress across space consumed a lot of energy. Xu Xiang's aura instantly dropped a lot. Human King. Xu Xiang smiled and saluted Fong Ping. She was still the size of a child. Fong Ping chuckled. "How have you been recently, Senior?" I'm fine. Xu Xiang was all smiles. "Lord Garrison and Lord Creator are here. The others dare not act rashly." He called these people lords out of habit. In the past, he was just a boy's servant. Compared to these Emperor's VIPs, his status was very different. Even today, Xu Xiang did not change this way of addressing him. Fong Ping's smile grew brighter. This was a good thing. He was afraid that Xu Xiang would have different thoughts after achieving Dao validation. Xu Xiang had broken 9 years ago. After achieving Dao validation this time, his improvement was still very fast. Fong Ping could not accurately judge the current Xu Xiang, but he felt that his limit should be about 60 million. At this time, it was also the period of rapid improvement for new emperors like them. After a while, they would reach their limit, and it would be difficult to improve further. "I came here today to ask something. Please speak, Human King." Xu Xiang was a little surprised. Fong Ping did not look for Heavenly King Garrison and the others but him. "Senior, what do you think of the human race?" Xu Xiang was slightly taken aback. What kind of question was this? Even though she didn't understand, Xu Xiang thought for a while and said, "You and I are both humans. Other than the demon race, the humans from the land, the ancient humans, and the current neo-martial artists actually all originate from the same source. Same origin." Fong Ping said with a smile, "Nowadays, there aren't many who regard themselves as humans. Almost all of them felt that they had already become immortals and that there was no such thing as a human anymore." Senior said that they came from the same source, but they wouldn't agree. Xu Xiang sternly said, "No matter how powerful we are all from the human race." Master often mentioned this when he was around. Power is power. Even if we evolve and become more powerful, our race will not change. Fong Ping laughed. This little old man was quite cute. He liked to hear such words. Things should be much easier to handle. "Senior, what do you think of the current human emperor?" "I'm talking about King Wu, not Ji. What do you think of King Wu?" King Wu. Xu Xiang was no fool. She seemed to have understood something as she frowned slightly. Fong Ping wanted her to acknowledge King Wu. Or rather, acknowledge this king, the king of the human race, sincerely acknowledge him. Xu Xiang hesitated for a moment and said slowly, "Although I don't know much about King Wu, from a few words, I know that King Wu is a rare virtuous king in the past 40,000 years. As she said that, she paused and said, "However, I've been following Master since ancient times. Until now, it has been almost 30,000 years. Although King Wu is virtuous and strong, compared to Master." He did not finish his sentence, but he felt that King Wu was far inferior to Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Since that was the case, he felt that he could not acknowledge King Wu as his leader. It was not that he looked down on King Wu, but he did not want to equate King Wu with Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Fong Ping was not surprised. He said with a smile, Then, is Wang Jinyang considered Zhan's descendant or life inheritance? Xu Xiang frowned slightly. Very quickly, she nodded and said, yes. If so, Wang Jinyang acknowledges King Wu. Senior, do you think that means that Heavenly Emperor Zhan also acknowledges King Wu? This was a stolen concept. Xu Xiang knew what he meant. At this moment, she looked troubled. Fang Ping smiled again and said, Senior, King Wu's strength may not be as good as Heavenly Emperor Zhan, but in other aspects, Fang Ping looked serious and said in a low voice, I feel that in the 40,000 years of human history, those who can compare to King Wu are definitely rare, not even Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Xu Xiang's expression changed slightly. Fang Ping pointed to the outside of the source universe and said in a low voice, the human race is about to be annihilated. Danger lurks everywhere and chaos appears. What is King Wu's strength? Even if he does not know about the existence of emperors and heavenly kings, with his absolute strength, there are hundreds of catacombs absolute masters. He strengthens the new martial arts, allowing the human race to live and work in peace and contentment. Everyone has enough to eat and drink and does not need to worry about their livelihood. In the past 40,000 years, in which era did not people starve to death or freeze to death? Not in new martial arts. People in new martial arts, there are birth, old age, sickness, and death. There are tens of millions of people who died in the catacombs. However, in the new martial arts revival, when the human race is facing a great enemy, the three realms are enemies. They live and work in peace and contentment, creating the human race's golden age. The old have someone to rely on, the young have someone to support. In the struggle for power and internal troubles, new martial arts has the least. Fang Ping's tone was passionate. He created the golden age. He revitalized the human race. Without him, where would the devil king Fang Ping come from? Where would the three emperors reincarnate come from? Where would the human race powerhouses come from? Fang Ping's tone changed from passionate to calm. Senior, perhaps you think that King Wu's strength is not strong enough. He is not as carefree as Heavenly Emperor Zhan, suppressing the three realms alone. But I still want to ask, Senior, what is Heavenly Emperor Zhan's lifelong dream? To preach to the three realms? To be a teacher? To make everyone in the three realms a powerhouse? Or is it something else? Then let me tell you, Senior, King Wu did better than Heavenly Emperor Zhan. How many people came out of Heavenly Emperor Zhan's combat hall? King Wu controlled the martial arts universities so that billions of people in Sino Nation could read, learn martial arts, and pass down Dao. He introduced martial arts to the whole nation. Martial arts universities produce human heroes one after another. They may not be powerhouses, but they fought for the human race. Even when they died in a foreign land, none of them retreated. Could Heavenly Emperor Zhan do it? King Wu did it. He could make a stubborn person like me sacrifice my life for the human race. Can Heavenly Emperor Zhan do it? Fang Ping said in a low voice. Junior is not belittling Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Heavenly Emperor Zhan is very strong, terrifyingly strong. Junior even feels that in terms of talent, strength, and character, no one in the three realms can compare to him. But he is strong alone. Even if Heavenly Emperor Zhan used the combat hall to pass down Dao, martial arts, secret arts, and did not hide it at all, he is still a formidable person. Compared to King Wu, Junior feels that he is still slightly lacking. Perhaps this is what they often say about the big family and the small family. What Heavenly Emperor Zhan thinks about is his own small family, his own small circle. As for King Wu, Junior feels that he is the real king. Heavenly Emperor Zhan can be an overlord, a peerless powerhouse, but he can't be the king of a clan. I can't either. Fang Ping said sincerely, a king doesn't need to be very strong. They rely on their charm, courage, ability, and vision to discover those people, to let those powerhouses and capable people do their jobs. Therefore, when King Wu becomes the king, the emperor, there is no one in the human race who is unconvinced. Whether it is me, Heavenly King Jun, or others, we all admire him. People like us can expand territories, kill enemies, suppress the three realms, but we can't let the people live the lives that they want. The golden age. Fong Ping looked sincere. Senior, recognition is not to be a slave. I only recognize the position of the king of the human race. Recognize his commander and dispatch of the human race. Recognize his dedication to the human race. Senior, is King Wu's dedication to the human race not enough? I think he has already done it to the extreme. In the 40,000 years of the three realms, even the divine emperor and heavenly emperor in the ancient times, their dedication, sincerity, and passion to the tribe are not as good as King Wu. Xu Xiang was slightly dazed. He did not expect that the Devil King Fong Ping would praise King Wu so much. It was really a little unexpected. He had stayed in the human world for a few days. During that time, King Wu only did some things behind the scenes. The major events in the human world were actually decided by Fong Ping and Heavenly King Jin. Based on his understanding of Fong Ping and Fong Ping's domineering nature, Xu Xiang felt that even if Fong Ping did not seize King Wu's power, he did not take King Wu too seriously. However, today he realized that he was wrong. Fong Ping very much recognized King Wu's leadership of the human race. Even he himself defined himself as a hatchet man of vanguard. The king of the human race, from the beginning to the end, had always been that King Wu. Not too domineering, not too saintly. Xu Xiang felt that it was very normal. Of course, there was also something unusual. The Devil King actually recognized him wholeheartedly. He was really a little surprised. King Wu, Xu Xiang murmured. This martial artist that he was not too familiar with and did not have a deep memory of had suddenly left a deep impression on him this time. It was not that easy to obtain the recognition of an emperor. At this moment, Xu Xiang still did not recognize that non-emperor. However, Xu Xiang was still a little moved. After a while, he said slowly, King Run, during those days in the human world, I have not traveled the human world. Master has been imparting knowledge all his life, and he places great importance on imparting knowledge. I have also heard of the name of martial arts universities. King Ren, can Xu Xiang tour the martial arts universities today? Not only martial arts universities, but also some of the human world schools and private schools. Sure. Fong Ping laughed and said, let's do it now. There's no time like the present. Lest you think that we are pretending, I also want to let you see, in this chaotic time of war, on the eve of the extinction of the human race. How is the human race? The Golden Age lasts forever. As long as the powerhouses do not perish, as long as King Wu does not perish, the human race will be in the Golden Age. Xu Xiang was moved. Such arrogance, such strong confidence. Xu Xiang did not say anything else. He did not descend with his avatar, but left directly with his real body. Although descending to the human world would greatly reduce his strength, leaving at most 30%, he did not care. If the powerhouses in the human world really wanted to do anything to him, it would be useless even if they descended with their real bodies. 30% strength was enough. Earth. As the war continued to erupt, ancient secrets gradually spread. The danger of extinction was right before their eyes, and the human race was slightly shaken. However, the powerful King Wu Fong Ping, the calm and composed King Wu Zhongtao, and the human powerhouses who were still fighting and fighting were still holding on in front. Although the hearts of the people were shaken, they still maintained peace and stability. The deepest impression that new martial arts brought to the human race in 100 years was nothing else. It was that even if the sky fell, the powerhouses would hold it up. The sky did not fall. The powerhouses were still there. Then the human race would not perish. The Golden Age existed. Now it was already July. In previous years, it would have been summer vacation at this time. However, now that the war was coming, the holidays had been canceled, and the martial arts universities were still reopening. Batch after batch of new students poured in. Young people full of vigor and vitality carried yearning, excitement, and some fear, but they were still determined to enter martial arts universities. Even if they were still weak and might not have a chance to participate in the final battle, the pinnacle of the battle, they still fought. For the legacy, not the martial arts legacy, but the legacy of the spirit of new martial arts. Martial artists must fight, and martial artists would not retreat. If the powerhouses died in battle, they would replace them. Even if their country was destroyed, they would perish in battle. They would never kneel and die in submission. Kill. Battle cries filled the air. This was an ordinary martial arts university. On the big field, young martial artists were sparring with each other, every move drawing blood. In the void, Xu Xiang and Fang Ping were watching. Xu Xiang did not pay much attention. This kind of sparring was too weak for him. What he cared about was not this, but the teachers and students in the teaching block continued with their classes amidst the clamor of battle cries. They explained the catacombs, ancient civilization, beginner martial arts, and origin. Impart knowledge. Martial artists were not pure butchers, boors, or killing geniuses. They were martial artists. The battle cries outside the window did not disturb the students who were still in class. They were absorbing all kinds of knowledge to prepare for the future. They asked questions one by one, and the teachers patiently pointed and taught them again and again. Martial arts universities. Xu Xiang was a little dazed. This was a martial arts university? Similar to the battle hall? Yes, they were all very weak. Unlike the battle hall, where the people who went were at least desperate realms. Here, they were all a group of young people, all weak, but their thirst for knowledge and martial arts was even stronger than those powerhouses who went to the battle hall. The teachers were conscientious, and the students listened carefully, imparting knowledge and answering questions. Xu Xiang was a little shocked, a little moved. He had never been to these places before. Now that he was suddenly here, he suddenly felt that these were what his master's life pursued. Right? Purer than the battle hall. Fang Ping saw him dumbfounded and smiled. Senior, this is only one of the martial arts universities. Let me show you the other martial arts universities. All right. Xu Xiang nodded. He wanted to see if this was a special situation or a common one. 1 martial arts university, 2 martial arts universities, 3 martial arts universities. Gradually, Xu Xiang fell silent. There were too many. There were only so many in Sino Nation. There were institutions similar to martial arts universities all over the world. At this moment, they were all in the same state. Soon, Xu Xiang did not care about Fang Ping anymore. He flew to the ground, minding his own business. This was not a martial arts university. It was just a remote elementary school. Now, a group of ignorant children were listening attentively in class, unaffected by the outside world. They were reading and learning. Xu Xiang said in his sleep, "The clan is going to be wiped out. Is there any use in imparting knowledge to these children now? Their country was going to be wiped out. Should they not be preparing for war now? Should they not be focusing on improving the strength of powerhouses? Who would have the energy to care about these children?" During the chaos of war, it was normal for ordinary people to wander from place to place, living in fear. How could it be like this? He turned his head to look. In the distance, in a city, in a small garden that was not considered elegant, a group of old people was still chatting about the future. They were talking about their children, children who were fighting. They were talking about their friends, friends who had died in battle. They were talking about the future, about peace, about retirement. It seemed like this was still the golden age. Emperors? So what if they were emperors? When emperors came, powerhouses went to kill them. If powerhouses could not kill them, generation after generation of martial artists would fight until the country was destroyed, until the people were wiped out. It was glory for their descendants to die in a foreign land. They would grieve, they would shed tears, they would cry, but they would not kneel. These old people, at the last moment, could still raise their sabers and fight again, even if they could not hurt the enemy. Xu Xiang was even more shocked. He had been to the human world and stayed for a few days, but he either stayed outside the cemetery of war or went to Star City. He did not travel carefully in the human world, nor did he pay attention to the lives of ordinary people. Today he saw it. Xu Xiang turned her head to look at Fang Ping, asking in disbelief, "How did you do it?" Even during the Celestial Court's most glorious period, they could not do this. Live and work in peace and contentment. Develop the people's wisdom, impart knowledge, impart martial arts, each with their own duties. What a golden age! Generations of neo-martial artists watered it with their blood. Fang Ping said calmly, This golden age was not the work of King Wu in a day. It was created by the entire neo-martial artists. When I was weak, I was protected by my teachers in school. When I was outside school, I was protected by foreign human seniors. When I entered the catacombs, I caused trouble continuously. No one blamed me. Those seniors would only bear everything silently, fight the strong enemies, and kill the strong enemies outside of Earth. When I was strong, I was encouraged by my seniors. Even if I was selfish, even if I was afraid of death, I was willing to contribute to this golden age. If I, Fong Ping, were born in the catacombs, I would be a devil, a real devil, a devil both inside and outside. But I was born in this golden age, born in neo-martial artists, born in this land that I love and hate at the same time. I was bound by them willingly. Even a devil like me could be influenced. These people are the real devils. Therefore, this human world is actually a terrifying devil world. Fong Ping chuckled. A devil world that bewitches people's hearts. So many geniuses and powerhouses were willing to die for him. Isn't this the devil world? Isn't this the devil path? Even if I die, I will feel that my death is worth it. Xu Xiang was silent. After a while, she suddenly said, King Wu, if you are the only one left of the human race, will you continue to fight to the death, or escape this war and find a place where no one is around? Fong Ping said calmly, I won't be the only one left. Because if I die, I will die first. It's not that I'm great, but I have no choice. The hearts of the human race are united because of this. The powerhouses fight first. The powerhouses die in battle. The weak fight again, wave after wave, passed down from generation to generation until now. If the powerhouses are not all dead, how will the others die? I don't want to die, but I've said it. This is neo-martial artists. Even if you don't want to die, you have to fight. You are not restrained by others. You have to fight. This is the martial path. This is the martial Tao. Xu Xiang murmured. Was this the way of martial arts? Is this the martial arts that Master is pursuing? Xu Xiang didn't know and didn't understand, but he suddenly felt that perhaps this was what his master was truly pursuing. Therefore, at the last moment, his master came to the human world. Not only was it difficult for him to leave his homeland, but he also wanted to be buried in this martial arts world that he loved. No wonder the fragrance of books murmured. No wonder Zhen likes this place. No wonder the Yang spirit doesn't leave the human world. No wonder the human race has developed to such an extent in just a few decades. Even though they know that the emperor is powerful, they are still willing to fight. At this moment, he somewhat understood. He listened to the sounds around him. He heard them. He heard the babbling child telling his parents and elders that he wanted to be a human king when he grew up, a martial king. He wanted to kill the enemies outside, and he was willing to die in battle in a foreign land to bring peace to the world. Great dreams, childish words. Perhaps in the future, these children would find today's words very shameful. However, Xu Xiang suddenly felt that if the human race faced another crisis in the future, these children might really become the next human king, the next martial king. This feeling was so intense. Xu Xiang exhaled and suddenly laughed. He laughed as if there was no one else around. Master, Xu Xiang seems to understand. He seemed to understand something, but he didn't quite understand. If that was the case, he might as well let Xu Xiang stay in this world for a period of time to understand more, or even integrate into this world. Lord Martial King, Xu Xiang wants to stay in the human world for a period of time. Senior, you can call me Zhang Tao. In the distance, Zhang Tao walked in the air and said with a smile, the human race is also divided by status and strength. However, as long as you abide by the law, you are your own emperor. There is no need to call me Lord. I don't deserve to be called senior. Everyone is their own emperor? Xu Xiang laughed again. What great ambition! What great tone! What great boldness! In the past, he would have laughed and mocked. But now, he suddenly felt that he shouldn't mock, but should be happy. Below, some people heard the two words Martial King. Some people looked up at the sky. The next moment, there was a tsunami of cheers. Invincible Martial King. Invincible Human King. The cheers echoed throughout the small city. echoing throughout the human world. No one knelt on the ground. There was only excitement, and hot blood. This was the human world. At this moment, Xu Xiang's blood was also boiling. He suddenly bowed to Zhang Tao and said with a low smile, "Xu Xiang, may this golden age last forever." Golden age! Boom! The great Tao appeared in the sky. Zhang Tao laughed and walked in the air. With a boom, the gate of spirit was broken. The gate of qi and blood had been broken, and the gate of spirit was broken again. At this moment, the third gate was right in front of him. The gate of life. Breaking the gate meant breaking the 9 gates. Zhang Tao continued forward. Soon, he reached the third gate and laughed. Today, I, Zhang Tao, will break the gate of void. Dear emperors, I apologize for my impoliteness. Rumble. The third gate was broken. Zhang Tao, who had already forged his jade bones, only needed to move forward with the great Tao. And now, a powerful emperor had recognized his rule and his ideals. In one day, Zhang Tao had broken 3 gates. Compared to Li Zhu, he was more popular in the human world. The source trembled. Although Martial King did not cross the broken path and break the true gate to prove his Tao and become an emperor, today, Martial King breaking 3 gates still made the source tremble. At this moment, even the celestial emperor and the sun god could not help but pay attention. Martial King, the current emperor, might be the first, might also be the last. Congratulations to Martial King. A roar came from Fong Ping's mouth, shaking the 3 realms. Congratulations to Martial King. Congratulations to the human race. Roars sounded everywhere. Not far away, Xu Xiang was a little awkward, but she laughed and said in a low voice, "Congratulations to Martial King. Congratulations to the human race." Chapter 1457. 3 gates were broken. King Wu broke through 9 gates today. He did not cross the broken path. Perhaps Zhang Tao had a way to cross the broken path, but he chose not to. Once he crossed the broken path and became an emperor, his strength might increase again, but he would be controlled by the source. Zhang Tao chose to stop before the broken path. In the void, 3 gates were projected. Real gates. At this moment, a voice was heard. "Congratulations, King Wu." With a faint smile, it was the earthly sovereign. Soon, the human sovereign's voice was heard, slightly complicated. He said softly, "Congratulations." Yes, he was also congratulating. Very complicated. Others had broken through 9, or even reached the Tao. These people did not say anything, but for King Wu to break through 9, a few monarchs congratulated him. The true human path. Zhang Tao walked out of human path. Even if Fong Ping did not help Zhang Tao, he would walk out of human path sooner or later. Today's congratulations were for opening the path. Although he did not jump out of the source, Zhang Tao broke through 3 gates, and the emperors still congratulated him. Not only that, at this moment, there was suddenly a peerless might. "King Wu, if you prove your Tao today, I will protect you." At this moment, the 3 realms were shocked. The weak did not know this person's identity, but the strong knew. Celestial Emperor. The Celestial Emperor, who rarely appeared, actually appeared at this moment. Not only that, but he also invited Zhang Tao to prove his Tao. At this moment, between heaven and earth, before the broken path, a great path was built. Celestial Emperor's voice was calm as he continued, "I invite King Wu to prove his Tao. Open the path of the human sovereign." The 3 realms were silent. Shocking. The creator of the source, Celestial Emperor, today invited a martial artist who broke through 9 gates to prove his Tao, took the initiative to invite him, and even promised to protect him. No matter what the Celestial Emperor was planning, he was the invincible powerhouse of the 3 realms. His words in front of the 3 realms were worth it. If Zhang Tao proved his Tao today, he might not die in the final battle. At this moment, the other emperors were silent. In midair, a golden path appeared under Zhang Tao's feet, leading directly to the 3 gates. Stepping on it, there was no need to think about foundation or energy anymore. He could directly cross the broken path and prove his Tao. Temptation? A huge temptation. The celestial arch had said that he would protect Zhang Tao. This was also a promise that everyone dreamed of. Would Zhang Tao prove his Tao? At this moment, the eyes of the three realms were focused on Zhang Tao. Zhang Tao stood in front of the broken path and said in a clear voice, "Thank you, Heavenly Monarch, for thinking so highly of me. I would like to ask one more thing. Can Heavenly Monarch give up on the immortal source trap?" "I can't." The Heavenly Emperor's voice was calm. "The matter of the immortal origin must be carried out. There is no turning back." Zhang Tao laughed heartily and said, "Then I thank the Celestial Arch for your kindness. It's fine if I don't prove my Tao. The source, the cage, is also protection." The Heavenly Emperor remained calm. Life and death are not important in the Origin Tao. The Origin Tao is for emperors. The Origin Tao protects us. If one did not enter the Tao of the source, even if it was destroyed, it would not cause great harm to the source. Once one entered the source and became an emperor, a crack would appear in the source once the great Tao collapsed. The Celestial Arch would also protect the Tao of the origin. A very complicated relationship. The Celestial Emperor wanted to kill the 9 emperors, but at the same time, he didn't want to destroy their Tao fruits in order to prevent the origin ground from shaking. If they didn't enter the source, then so be it. It didn't matter. At this moment, the Celestial Arch asked again, "Is King Wu willing to prove his Tao?" "No." Zhang Tao smiled and said, "Since it was created by the human race, then let it be destroyed by the human race. My great Tao is bestowed by the human race." "What a pity." The Heavenly Emperor sighed softly. The pressure dissipated. The great Tao in front of the broken path collapsed and disappeared completely. What a pity. Human Tao had a great supplement effect on the origin, even better than monster plant Tao. Once Zhang Tao entered the source and condensed his Tao fruit, he could repair many cracks in the source land. This was the Emperor Tao. Unfortunately, Zhang Tao was unwilling, and the Heavenly Emperor would not force him. He also said that if one did not enter the Tao of the source, life and death were fated. No one would care about the survival of this Tao. Zhang Tao laughed loudly and stepped back into the void, not affected at all. Below, Fong Ping chuckled and said, "Why did you refuse? Are you stupid? After proving your Tao and increasing your strength, you can turn around and fight them again. What a good thing. How stupid." Zhang Tao chuckled and said, "Kid, you're still too inexperienced. I promised the Heavenly Emperor, but some people might not be willing. Isn't that asking for trouble?" Fong Ping laughed. "You mean those people?" If Zhang Tao agreed to the Heavenly Emperor, the Divine Emperor and the others might not be happy. Proving one's Tao, repairing the source land, and reducing the pressure on the Heavenly Emperor was probably what these people did not want to see. That was why someone made a deal with the Emperor previously. The deal was for King Wu's Tao fruit. Obviously, he was one of those people. However, now that King Wu refused to prove his Tao, the Tao fruit did not gather. As for how those people would explain to the Emperor, it had nothing to do with Fong Ping and the others. Zhang Tao chuckled and said no more. At this moment, his eyes were deep, looking at Fong Ping, smiling brightly. The qualitative change was complete. The qualitative change was complete, and his mentality skyrocketed. In addition, the third gate was broken, and his vitality also increased. Although it was not too much, it did increase a little. At this moment, Zhang Tao's vitality and mentality were rapidly changing. More than 200,000 hertz of mentality, more than 10 million calories of vitality force. Very soon, Zhang Tao's body vaguely produced some force. It was very fast, much faster than Fong Ping's previous transformation. Very soon, Zhang Tao completed the transformation. With a smile on his face, he looked at Fong Ping, a little proud. Vitality. 0, 16 million calories. Mentality. 0, 160,000 hertz. Force. 1,600 origins. 32 million calories. Vitality. Origin increase. 100%. Emperor Tao Plus. Combat techniques. Zhang Tao's educational record. 15%. Strength control. 97% maximum vitality. 66. 73 million cal/68. 8 million close to the limit of 70 million calories. And this was already the limit of Beast Emperor, Emperor Shi, Emperor Nan, and the others. There was also the unknown Emperor Dao increase. With a base of 32 million calories, Zhang Tao's Dao still retained the 100% increase. It was already extremely powerful. If it was Fong Ping, even if he broke 9, he would not be able to suppress it. Fong Ping looked at Zhang Tao and laughed. It seems like it's not bad. Theoretically, the strength of those who broke 9 could reach more than 40 million calories. For powerhouses who broke 9, these 40 million calories did not even feel like they had the origin increase. It was their own strength. In reality, however, if these powerhouses who broke 9 did not have the origin increase, they would only be around 10 million calories. Old Zhang was about the same. After all, he had broken 2 gates in a day and completed breaking 9, so he was not stronger than other powerhouses who broke 9. At this moment, the origin increase was weakened. However, after converting the force, it had a solid base of 32 million calories. In this way, even without the origin increase, he was still much stronger than those who broke 9. Zhang Tao chuckled. That's for sure. I'm not willing to prove my Dao. Otherwise if he chose to prove his Dao today, he would be even stronger. Breaking 100 million was not a dream. Still weak. Fong Ping mocked him. Zhang Tao did not take it seriously. He said casually, I can mobilize thousands of Daos. What do you know? Fong Ping actually looked down on him. Be careful that I mobilize thousands of Daos. My strength will skyrocket, and I'll slap you to death. Fong Ping sneered. The Dao of borrowing force. What kind of skill is that? If you're so capable, go borrow force too. Zhang Tao snorted. Serious double standards. In the past, when Fong Ping borrowed the system's strength, he would spare no effort to attack him. However, now, he did not care if he borrowed force or not. Being able to borrow force was a skill. Fong Ping was speechless. He rolled his eyes. Double standards guy. Give that thing to Old Wang and the rest as soon as possible. Fong Ping said. Old Zhang had converted a lot of force and consumed a lot. Fong Ping was holding the body of the system now. He could feel the loss of force. Old Zhang said reluctantly. What if I use it again? I think it'll be easy to lose balance if I take it away now. Fong Ping could not be bothered with him. Lose balance? Unless there was another major breakthrough, it would be difficult to have an imbalance. The huge gap had been smoothed out. At this moment, unless Fong Ping and Zhang Tao had another major breakthrough in one of the paths and widened the gap, there was almost no danger of losing balance. Zhang Tao sighed at the sight, his face full of sorrow. The protagonist's life did not last much longer. If the system flew away, would he not be considered a protagonist anymore? Thinking about it, he still sent a voice transmission. Do you want to borrow Senior Book Fragrance for a while? Book Fragrance recognized the human race and the martial king. That was why he had this breakthrough. Moreover, Book Fragrance was very strong. Of course, his strength lay in his vitality. Book Fragrance's vitality might not be lower than 50 million calories. As for mentality, it should have completed a qualitative change. However, it might not improve much in the future. Moreover, a part of Book Fragrance's 50 million calories was also provided by the origin. It was not the real 50 million. Once converted, it might be weakened. No matter what, Old Zhang felt that if Book Fragrance used this conversion, his combat strength might not double, but it might reach 70 million. At that time, Book Fragrance would be much stronger than now. Fong Ping frowned slightly, glancing at Book Fragrance not far away. This thing belonged to Heavenly Emperor Zhan. Heavenly Emperor Zhan was Book Fragrance's owner. Book Fragrance also recognized the human race now. Old Zhang could even borrow power from him. It was not impossible to lend it to him. However, Fong Ping felt that the power stored by the 3 emperors might not be much. He used it every day. Old Zhang also used a lot this time. How much would be left? There were many people around him who needed to use this now. Old Wang and the rest all needed it. Fong Ping was a little conflicted. Old Zhang thought for a while and sent a voice transmission. Why don't we let Wang Jinyang and the rest try it? If there's still some left, how about we lend it to Senior Book Fragrance? As he said that, he added, since Heavenly Emperor Jean left this behind, I'm afraid the power stored will not be little. Even if it's really used up, we can actually think of a way to recharge it. Fong Ping thought for a while and nodded slightly. All right, if there's really some left, then let Senior Book Fragrance try it. Zhang Tao laughed and did not elaborate further. He turned his head and started chatting with Book Fragrance. This was the first emperor who recognized him. He was still very happy. This meant that his ideals had been recognized by the world's top powerhouses. They were even willing to follow his ideals. This was very rare. Both of them were chatting happily. Fong Ping did not have the time to accompany them. The sky was already dark. According to the plan, they would enter the source the day after tomorrow. There was only one day left. Zhang Tao's breakthrough earlier had actually helped Fong Ping a little. At least Fong Ping's source world had old Zhang. Unfortunately, he still could not help Fong Ping break through the source world's limit of 10,000 meters. It was still a little short. If the source world did not exceed 10,000 meters, Fong Ping still felt a little uncertain. This time, he was too worried. This time, the Emperor took the initiative to invite him. He could not pin all his hopes on them not making a move. Even if they made a move, his side also had the ability to resist. This was the result Fong Ping wanted. 10,000 meters, just a little more. Fong Ping still had a lot of star stones in his hands. He did not know if forcefully absorbing them would allow the source to continue breaking through. In fact, the effect would be better if he absorbed them after breaking through. But Fong Ping was a little impatient. He wanted to enter the source with stronger strength that exceeded everyone's expectations. The Emperor and the others' current judgment of Fong Ping's strength was probably based on the strength that suppressed Spirit Emperor previously. In everyone's eyes, Fong Ping had almost no trump cards to speak of. He was not mysterious, nor was he complicated. His vitality outburst was about 90 million calories. This was Fong Ping. His combat technique was simple. The main thing was the Chaos Vanquishing Saber technique. His weapon was also simple, the Chaos Vanquishing Saber. Everything about Fong Ping was seen by the others. 90 million calories was very powerful. It surpassed those old emperors, but compared to those who broke through 100 million, there was still a big gap. Although it did not seem far from breaking through 100 million, it was extremely difficult to do so. Fong Ping suspected that after breaking through 100 million, the difference between the upper and lower tens of millions of cal might be able to match the difference between him and breaking 9. How do I break through 10,000 meters of origin? Fong Ping was conflicted. If he wanted to improve his strength now, the first was True Blood, and the second was the expansion of origin. True Blood could help him complete 100% honing of Jade Bones, and Origin could help him complete 10,000 meters of transformation. If I absorb all the Star Stones, maybe I can, but Star Stones are hard to come by. Those that Sun God gave me, plus those that Emperor Qin Fengqing sent over, if I really use them all, Fong Ping's head hurt. He actually wanted to use them after breaking through this checkpoint. There were too few of them. If he used them after breaking through the checkpoint, he might be able to quickly expand a large piece of territory. At this moment, Fong Ping's eyes flickered slightly. Merging the city, merging the dojo. Back in the Mystic Realm, North Emperor's projection had told him that he could go to North Palace and choose to merge with it. That place was his dojo, and it was very powerful. After merging, the effect might be stronger than merging with Magic City. However, North Emperor had changed. He was no longer the North Emperor. Now, North Emperor did not even care about his own daughter. How could he merge with North Palace? Without North Palace, Fong Ping had something else. Dojo. Combat Heavenly Palace. Fong Ping's eyes flickered suddenly. This was Heavenly Emperor Zhan's dojo, much stronger than North Emperor. Combat Heavenly Palace was actually considered a dojo, but Fong Ping had always ignored it. Other people's dojos were a large territory, but Combat Heavenly Palace was only a small palace. I have to get Zhan's approval. Fong Ping suddenly laughed. Did Zhan approve of him? He was Zhan's backup plan. Could he not approve? Moreover, Old Wang, Zhan's reincarnation, had given Combat Heavenly Palace to him a long time ago. He had never thought of merging Combat Heavenly Palace, because Combat Heavenly Palace looked too ordinary. If he had not used it when he was looking for the system previously, Fong Ping would have really forgotten about Combat Heavenly Palace. If I, the owner, have forgotten, others might have forgotten too. I can't find the seed, I can't obtain true blood, and those emperors probably know how many cities I've merged. They probably also guess that I won't have a big breakthrough in the near future. Fong Ping's gaze was strange, and he suddenly laughed secretly. This time, he really had to get some trump cards. He would secretly merge Combat Heavenly Palace, expand the origin to 10,000 meters, absorb those star stones, and quickly strengthen the origin. Fong Ping could not wait now. Previously, he had forgotten about this. He had forgotten about Combat Heavenly Palace. Now that he suddenly remembered, how could he be willing to waste time? Magic City. Old Wang had just stepped out of the door when the void shattered with a crash. Fong Ping grabbed him and disappeared. Behind them, Zhang Taogang and Xu Xiang came together. Seeing this, they felt a little strange. What was this guy doing with Wang Jinyang? Xu Xiang also glanced at the direction where Wang Jinyang and Fong Ping had left, smiled, and said softly, "Little Master and King Man are very close." Old Zhang laughed. "That's true. Wang Jinyang is Fong Ping's martial arts enlightener." As he said that, he was slightly stunned. Old Zhang did not continue. Martial arts enlightener? Combat Heavenly Emperor's plan? It was really possible. His reincarnation was in Sun City. The master of the system that created it was in Sun City. The system had the power of Combat Heavenly Emperor. Fong Ping and Wang Jinyang were destined to come into contact. In that case, it did not seem surprising that Wang Jinyang was Fong Ping's martial arts enlightener. Old Zhang sighed in his heart and smiled. Combat Heavenly Emperor is a peerless figure. Xu Xiang was slightly shocked. Her gaze was a little complicated. She quickly said softly, "Master is the best in the three realms." Unfortunately, Xu Xiang shook her head slightly. Unfortunately, Master was too envied by the heavens. Seeing this, Old Zhang did not say much. Very quickly, he entered MCMU with Xu Xiang and brought her to observe the world's #1 martial arts academy. In the shattered space, Old Wang looked at Fong Ping and asked curiously, "Why are you being so mysterious?" He even hid in the space rift. What was Fong Ping doing? This was no longer on Earth. It was in the depths of misery. Combat Heavenly Palace had appeared. Old Wang looked at Combat Heavenly Palace, then at Fong Ping. He still did not understand. Fong Ping grinned. "I want to merge with Combat's dojo. Don't talk nonsense. Enter Combat Heavenly Palace and pretend to be Master. Pretend to be Combat Heavenly Emperor. Just think about me. Think about how good I am, how handsome I am, how powerful I am, how enthusiastic I am. In any case, the kind that worships me to the extreme. Under normal circumstances, worshipping me will be easier to gain recognition." Old Wang rolled his eyes, but quickly said, "Are you sure? Even if you can, Combat Heavenly Palace doesn't feel too powerful to me. It's just an ordinary divine weapon." "Nonsense. What do you know?" Fong Ping said disdainfully. "This is Combat Heavenly Emperor's dojo. It can even discover the problem with the immortal source. Do you really think it's an ordinary divine weapon? I suspect that this thing is stronger than the chaos-vanquishing saber. Don't worry about this. Go in immediately. After you go in, do as I say. Acknowledge me. Worship me. I'll see if I can succeed." After saying that, Fong Ping suddenly stuffed the front end of the system into his brain. Old Zhang had taken this thing off just now. Fong Ping was worried that he would lose balance during his breakthrough this time. It was better to use it first and see if he needed to balance his combat strength. Old Wang said helplessly, "It's not difficult to acknowledge you. Worship you. It's really difficult. Stop talking nonsense." Fong Ping said impatiently, "Am I not worthy of your worship? Look at me. My combat strength is about to break through 100 million. What about you? How much is that? You're even the reincarnation of Combat Heavenly Emperor. You're just a weakling." Old Wang was speechless. This guy deserved to be beaten up by old Zhang. Unfortunately, old Zhang had just broken through 9. Even if his combat strength had skyrocketed after balancing, this bastard Fong Ping might increase again this time. If that happened, old Zhang might not have a chance to deal with him. No wonder this guy was so savage. Then I'll try my best. If it doesn't work, don't blame me. Fong Ping said indifferently, whatever. It's related to the survival of billions of humans anyway. I can't do anything if you don't worship me. So be it. If you worship me, I might have a chance to break through. When that time comes, I can save billions of humans. All right, stop putting such a big hat on me. Old Wang was really helpless. What else could he say when he had said that? Old Wang stepped into the air and entered the combat heavenly palace. He did not do anything. He sat cross-legged and began to recall the scenes in his heart. Everything about Fong Ping. From the first time they met in Sun City, Fong Ping was ignorant and immature when they first met. On the eve of the martial arts university entrance examination, Fong Ping made a choice. He rejected his invitation and chose MCMAU. From the first time they entered the catacombs together, to the martial arts university championship, to the battle in Tiannan, Fong Ping risked his life to help him find a teacher. Fong Ping became stronger and stronger. Fong Ping became more and more lonely. The Devil King, Fong Ping. Was Fong Ping worthy of worship? Even if Wang Jinyang knew about the existence of the system and knew that everything came from battles, he still felt that he was worthy of worship. It was not only the system that made Fong Ping who he was today. The system only provided energy. As for energy, it depended on who used it and how it was used. Some people did not lack energy. Did the Celestial Emperor lack it? Did the Yang Spirit lack it? Did the seeds lack it? But they did not cultivate a second Fong Ping. He could not forget the pain Fong Ping suffered when he was attacked in Sun City. Fong Ping was in so much pain. Yet this fellow still looked for him with a cheeky face to freeload his imperishable substance. He could not forget that outside the void mausoleum grotto heaven, Fong Ping was affected by the battle. His flesh was broken, and only his bones were left, as tough as when he was pretending to be an ancient powerhouse. At that point, he did not have the slightest intention of giving up. In the end, he won everything. Even Wang Jinyang felt hopeless that day. But in the end, his teacher was saved. Fong Ping also obtained an incomparably huge reward and helped humanity win the battle in Tiannan. He could not forget the scene when this fellow went to the Nanjiang catacombs when he was weak. He brought Li Changsheng, who had turned into a lump of meat, and risked his life to enter the city to steal life essence. He was affectionate and loyal. In other people's eyes, Fong Ping was a devil, an executioner, a hero, a king. In his eyes, Fong Ping was a gangster who loved to take advantage of others. After taking advantage of them, he would repay them with a gushing spring. How much did Li Changxing give Fong Ping? Actually, not much. Before the outbreak of the Nanjiang battle, Li Changxing helped Fong Ping, but not too much. It was not to the point where Fong Ping would repay him with his life. But he did it. As a middle-ranked, he risked his life to enter the royal city, stole life essence, saved Li Changsheng, and had the longevity sword today. Miracle? This could not be explained by the system. The system was a dead object. Fong Ping was a living person. It was his own choice. He chose to save people, regardless of everything, regardless of the danger to his life. Was this Fong Ping worthy of respect? Yes. Wang Jinyang really admired him. Fong Ping was ruthless. He was ruthless to himself, to his enemies, but to his friends, he was not ruthless. He wished he could protect everyone so that not even a drop of water could leak out. He wished that everyone he knew would not die. Huang Jing died. Huang Jing was his dean and his teacher. But Huang Jing and Fong Ping had not reached the point where they would die together. Just like that, to avenge Huang Jing, Fong Ping did not hesitate to offend Zhang Tao. He mobilized the entire MCMAU, invited heroes to help MCMAU, conquered Magic City, and won that crucial battle. Lu Fengru, his teacher, used a few credits to give Fong Ping a mission that was almost impossible to complete. Kill the Lord of Sky Gate City. Rank 9. At that time, Fong Ping did not even know what the catacombs were. He accepted the mission, saying that he would not do it. In the end, Sky Gate City was destroyed, and the Lord of Sky Gate City was killed. It was all Fong Ping's plan. He gathered heroes to help him win this battle and avenge Wu Quishan and Lu Finger's daughter. He always remembered everything about others in his heart. He could not bear for his sister to participate in the battle, could not bear for his parents to worry, could not bear for his brothers to risk their lives, could not bear for his friends to die. Only he, this cowardly fellow, seemed to have never thought that he would die one day. He was also human, but he was doing the most dangerous mission. He was dealing with the most dangerous enemy. He was resisting the most terrifying opponent. These scenes emerged in his mind, rising. Wang Jinyang felt some sympathy, some pity, and some indescribable sadness. His cheeky smile and invincible mouth were all Fong Ping's disguise. The Fong Ping who loved money as much as his life was long gone. Love money. The him who loved money, at that time, would he risk the system being discovered and give all the loot to MCMAU, to the education ministry? Even if he hid it, not many people would know. Those who knew would not expose him. The IOUs that were sent out could also be collected. Fong Ping. Wang Jinyang looked at Fong Ping outside Heavenly Combat Palace and murmured, "You think that Heavenly Combat Emperor is powerful, that Martial King is respectable, that those heroes who died in battle are respectable. But you know, you are the real hero. You say that you are selfish, afraid of death, and forced to fight. But if that is really the case, why take risks again and again, to become stronger, to lower your head, to die? You say that Iron Head is stupid, but you are the dumbest guy in the 3 realms." Fong Ping. A clear shout was heard. Fong Ping raised his head and looked at Wang Jinyang in Heavenly Combat Palace, a little puzzled. "What? You are an idiot." "Idiot?" Fong Ping rolled his eyes. "Why the F*** CK? Are you scolding me?" "Ha!" Old Wang laughed. "Idiot. The #1 idiot in the 3 realms. Idiot became the biggest hero in the 3 realms. If not for the hero, Old Zhang, Heavenly King Garrison me, Iron Head, these arrogant and unruly prodigies will not revolve around you. Heavenly King Garrison does not recognize Martial King. Qin Fengqing does not recognize Martial King. God Forging Envoy does not recognize Martial King. That is because you are not Martial King. If you are, they will recognize you, because you are the strongest." "Ha ha, fuse, idiot." Fong Ping rolled his eyes again. "This guy deserves a beating. How dare he scold me? Did I give you face? Idiot." But in the next moment, Fong Ping was dumbfounded. With a rumble, in the source world, a huge palace appeared. So smooth? Too smooth. Rumble. There seemed to be someone on Heavenly Combat Palace. Old Wang? Heavenly Combat Emperor? Fong Ping did not know. Previously, he did not fuse with Old Wang and the others. It was strange. Why did this guy come in this time? Rumble. Heaven and earth trembled. The entire source world shook violently. The rumbling sounds were endless. In the next moment, the source world expanded rapidly. The sky was high, the ground was thick, and the world became bigger. Fong Ping was shocked. The expansion was so fast. The key was, why was it so simple? Also, although Old Wang in Heavenly Combat Palace was an illusion, why was he looking at him with a lascivious expression? What was this guy trying to do? How disgusting. Fong Ping shuddered. Old Wang must be crazy. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor. When Lao Wang saw him open his eyes, he stepped down from the sky and scanned him for a while, as if he was examining him. He smiled and said, "How is it?" "Very strong." Fong Ping grinned. "Of course, I haven't become the strongest in the 3 realms, but I've broken through the bottleneck. I can continue to become stronger, and I'm even closer to breaking through the second bottleneck." The second bottleneck was Jade Bones. Fong Ping guessed that if Jade Bones reached 100%, it would be the same as his strength. Perhaps it would be strengthened by another 20% or so. At his level, a 20% increase was already terrifying. That was an increase of tens of millions of cow. By then, Fong Ping's combat strength might be close to that of the Emperor God and the Celestial Emperor. Of course, it was more likely that Emperor East would be his. Emperor Heaven Reverse and the Emperor God's strengths were still unclear. If he forged with jade bones and approached Dong Wang, Fong Ping's origin could still continue to expand. If it was replaced with true blood, it might become even more powerful. Fong Ping's eyes were shining. He smiled and said, "This time, do you think we should do something even bigger?" Lao Wang frowned slightly. "Can you fight against the Heavenly Emperor and the others?" "Probably not." Fong Ping knew that there was still a gap between him and them, but he smiled and said, "But I can still improve." "They can't. They have already reached their limit, but I haven't." Lao Wang said in a low voice, "Don't take the risk. I think it's better if you hide your strength. The Beast Emperor and the North Emperor are chess pieces they threw out. Both sides might want them to die. If you eat this bait, they might not care too much. But if you eat the human emperor or the earthly emperor, then it's different. When that time comes, you will have the ability to threaten them." Back then, the earthly emperor was killed by the other emperors. All these years, the human emperor has been suppressed. Even the Emperor God and the Heavenly Emperor and the Earthly Emperor pay special attention to them. This means that they are actually different from the Beast Emperor and the others. Be careful not to set yourself on fire. It's better to take the opportunity now to weaken their strength and build up strength in secret. Fong Ping nodded slightly. "What you said makes sense. That's why the goal this time is still to eat these two abandoned emperors. It's better to be safe than sorry. If someone else intervenes, then there's nothing I can do." He increased his strength this time to deal with the upcoming situation more steadily. As for whether he would be forced to expose his strength, Fong Ping did not know. If those people had other plans, they might be exposed. Fong Ping knew in his heart that even if the Divine Emperor and Emperor Reverse Heaven were really scheming something, including the Celestial Emperor, who might want him to be the scavenger, this scavenger must not be out of their control. This also meant that Fong Ping must not have the strength to threaten them. Fong Ping might not be able to, but he had many powerhouses around him. Heavenly King Suppression, Scholar, the three emperors reincarnated, King Wu, Fong Ping had too many helpers. With so many powerhouses around, even if one person could not pose a threat to them, if they joined forces, there would be trouble. Weaken the number of powerhouses around me. This was Fong Ping's prediction. Those people might need his saber, but they did not want this saber to hurt themselves. The saber could not be moved, but the others could. Fong Ping took a deep breath, looked at Lao Wang, and said, "You and Iron Head, be careful. Don't easily expose the location of your Dao. Unless it's necessary, don't open the passageway unless I ask you to. Don't worry." Also, Fong Ping paused and said, "There might be trouble this time and some people might die, but as long as I don't ask you to open the Dao, you must not open it. Even if you open the Dao, there's hope for them to survive." "Ah!" Lao Wang's eyes flickered. "You mean, it's better to be safe than sorry. Those people are not stupid. If I help them clear out the small fries, then they have to help me sort out the branches." Lao Wang fell into silence. After a while, he said, "Are you really not going to save them?" Fong Ping laughed. "This might not happen, but if it does, then listen to me. I'll inform you if you open the Dao or not." "Okay." Lao Wang did not say anything else. However, this time, it might not be simple. On the human side, there were indeed too many collaborators. Even if there were not more than 100 million of them, once they became emperors, they would not be weak no matter how weak they were. Previously, the God Emperor fought against 9 alone because the few of them did not fight to the death. If they really fought to the death, the God Emperor might not be able to hold on. When Fong Ping returned again, the sky was already dark. This was already the agreed time to enter the source. In the source, separated by heaven and earth, darkness, silence, and coldness were the theme of the source. This place was a cage and a prison, where the invincible powerhouses of the 3 realms were imprisoned. 36 levels of heaven. The God Emperor looked down at the chessboard and said to himself, "If he really came, this should be the time. Who do you think he will target?" Beast. Emperor Celestial Reverse grinned. Beast is a little weaker. Also, it's good that Beast is dead, in case the source is repaired after Heavenly Wood testifies. Heavenly Wood testifies. The God Emperor looked up at him and smiled. When the Heavenly Realm was broken, you went to see Heavenly Wood. What's your plan? Nothing. Heavenly Wood is too weak. It was just a random move. Emperor Celestial Reverse grinned. If Heavenly Wood really succeeds, that person will be happy to see it. The God Emperor nodded and asked no more questions. Heavenly Wood testifying could also repair some cracks. If the Beast King was alive, the effect would be better. If the Beast King was dead, the effect would be less. But if the Beast King was dead, someone else might be able to testify. For example, the Monster Emperor. The God Emperor grinned. He darted a glance at Emperor Celestial Reverse. Did he have any plans for the Monster Emperor? He should have some. The God Emperor kept playing. After a while, he suddenly said, I think he is here. Emperor Celestial Reverse looked up and grinned. Everything is under your control. Control? The God Emperor said in a self-deprecating tone. Accidents are everywhere in the three realms. How can I control it? I'm just pushing the boat with the current. If one day you and I are being punished by Fong Ping, it will not be an accident. Emperor Celestial Reverse said softly. This time, he killed the beast. It will be fine if the fruit of Tao is not broken. But if the fruit of Tao is broken, that person will not forgive him. That's his business. The God Emperor said indifferently. He must have guessed it. Let's see if he is greedy or not. If he is greedy, the fruit of Tao is broken. If he is not greedy, he can kill the beast and leave. Nobody will come to the source to trouble him. But he is a greedy guy. Emperor Celestial Reverse laughed. He will not let it go. Also, if the Tao of the three emperors appears, that person will not let it go. Now is not the time to cut off the Tao. If the Tao of the three emperors appears, then you and I will stop it. Okay. Emperor Celestial Reverse answered and continued playing. Players? Perhaps it was. Everyone was using Fong Ping as the chess pieces, the core. They were crisscrossing on the chessboard. Who could guarantee who would have the last laugh? Or if the chess pieces would overturn the chessboard, including that carefree Yang spirit. What was he thinking? The human world. Sun City. In the space crack, the Yang spirit was sleeping on the beach, basking in the sun. Suddenly, the Yang spirit opened its eyes and grinned. Interesting. You dare to come to me? The next moment, the Yang spirit disappeared. When it reappeared, it was in darkness. It seemed to be in a different dimension. It was not a space crack, but a world similar to the source universe. It was dark in this world. However, at the end of the darkness, there was a seed glowing faintly. It lit up the void nearby. The seed did not escape. A surge of energy came from it. The power came from me. It's time to return it. Return it to your mother. The Yang spirit sneered. You are a perpetual motion machine. What are you so arrogant about? Didn't I cultivate? You should be a dead thing. Why do you have to pretend? According to you, the three realms should be destroyed. Not only the three realms, but also your new world. If someone breaks the taboo, shouldn't it be destroyed too? Return the power. The seed's energy fluctuation came again. Return my ass. The Yang spirit tore apart the starry sky with its bare hands. It appeared near the seed in an instant. The next moment, it turned around and left. You want me to hit you? Dream on. I won't hit you. Let's see what you can do. Boom. At this moment, a strong suction force came. The Yang spirit's expression changed slightly. Its energy fluctuated. It said coldly, you couldn't attack me before. Now that fist desolation and the others are dead, you seem to have unlocked some of the power seals. The Yang spirit exhaled. It seems that as more and more beginner martial artists die, the more power you take back, the loosening of some rules. He guessed a little. As the first generation of beginner martial artists died, one after another, the power returned to the seed. The seed might have unlocked some of the rules. Once the three realms was really destroyed and the beginner martial artist died, this guy might completely break through everything and become the only master of the three realms again. You suddenly came to provoke me for no reason. Why aren't you leaving? What do you want? The young spirit was not nervous. It laughed and said, "What good will it do you to trap me? Do you want to invite me to be a guest in your body? Return the power. I will give you the power to control the new world again." At this moment, the seed fluctuated again. The next moment, the seed suddenly became transparent, and a virtual world appeared in its body. In this world, there is no martial arts, no Taoism, no immortals, no demons. You come, control, create, and be free. The young spirit raised its eyebrows and said with a smile, "Bribe me? It sounds good, but if it's true, I'm so powerful and I have no opponent. Won't I die of loneliness? You can open the way again." At this time, the seed suddenly said something. The young spirit raised its eyebrows. "Open the way again?" The seed created a world without martial arts so that it would not get out of control again. "Open the way again," soon it understood. It raised its eyebrows and said, "Back then, you were not mature enough to let your power go out of control and let the strong lose control. It seems that now that you have matured, if you open the way again, I'm afraid that this time, it will be completely controlled by you. Just like what that kid said, you gave me the Fate Jade Plate and I became a Tao ancestor. In the end, I will still be controlled by the heavenly Tao, right?" He understood. The seed didn't care about martial arts, but about the threat. Now, its young spirit was not limited by the seed and was not threatened by it. Even if the celestial emperor entered the source and the pit, he was actually not too restricted by the seed. If he really gave up the source completely, the celestial emperor might not die. Such a strong person could not be controlled. The new world could be opened again, but at that time, it would be at the mercy of others. I love peace, but I love freedom even more. The young spirit suddenly laughed and said, "I don't want to be that puppet. You go to the celestial emperor. He might be interested, but I'm not." Heavens, he agreed. At this moment, the seed fluctuated again, "But I like you more." The young spirit bared its teeth and said, "There's no need, is there? I don't love you. I just want to eat you." He is ambitious. He was too ambitious. The celestial emperor cared more about those things than the young spirit. The young spirit was safer. "You sold that guy just like that?" The young spirit narrowed its eyes and said with a smile, "That guy is not weak either. Be careful. I will join forces with him and kill you together." "No, he will kill you." The seed fluctuated again, and its voice was vast. "You are his enemy." "Me?" The young spirit raised its eyebrows and said with a smile, "I just want to bask in the sun quietly. Why do you have to make trouble for me? How about this? You could do whatever you want. Don't worry about me. Let me play in the world and live until the day I die. As for whether I stay in the three realms or the new world, I don't care. What do you think? I won't make trouble. I'm very easy to talk to." The seed didn't say anything. The young spirit sighed and said, "You guys have too many schemes and tricks. How uncute. You fat baby, tens of thousands of years ago, you were quite cute and as fun as that stupid cat. Unfortunately, when you grow up and mature, you are not fun anymore. Why don't I destroy your intelligence and make you fun again?" Boom! A powerful suction force came again. The young spirit snorted and shook its body. The entire unknown universe was trembling. "It's just a small trick. I won't beat you up today. Kill me if you can." The seed ignored it and circled around him at the speed of light. A strong wave of energy spread out in all directions. The young spirit's expression changed slightly. "You want to trap me? You can't leave." The seed's voice was cold. "When the three realms are destroyed, you won't survive." "Ha!" The young spirit sneered and ignored it. It quickly broke out of the encirclement. Boom! A wall appeared in front of it. The young spirit punched and broke it. The next moment, countless energy barriers appeared in all directions. It was shockingly powerful. "Now you've trapped me. Do you really think you've won?" The young spirit snorted. "Let's see how strong you are. Maintain the new world, the three realms, and the source. Let's see how long you can last." As soon as it finished speaking, the young spirit punched again and again. The entire universe was trembling violently. In this universe, there was no third party who could watch the battle except for them. The seed ignored it and continued to set up layers of energy light shields. The young spirit was like a cocoon. At this moment, it was surrounded by countless silk trying to trap it inside. Source. Inside the vitality seed, Fong Ping, who had been here last time, entered again. Other than him, old Zhang and the cat were also here. Fong Ping glanced and stared at the place where he found Zhang Tao's vitality path last time. It was gone now. It seemed to have dissipated. However, this place still controlled a large number of vitality martial artist Daos. Fong Ping laughed. At this time, he was extremely powerful. After a quick sweep, he found many familiar people's vitality paths. Fong Ping was too lazy to talk nonsense. His mentality shook. Rumble! A series of booming sounds came from a few paths. The vitality virtual gate was broken. There were legions, warlords. As long as these people's Daos reached this point, they could break the gate directly. Last time, their mentality gate was broken. This time, their vitality gate was broken. They were unimpeded all the way. If they were lucky, they would soon reach the point of breaking the 82 gates. Do you want to destroy this? Old Zhang asked. This vitality seed still controlled many Daos. If it was not destroyed, once it was used by others, it might cause these people to die with their Daos broken. No hurry. Now that it was destroyed, the commotion was not small. Fong Ping glanced at the sky, raised his eyebrows slightly, looked at the cat and said, "Was it this place last time?" The cat also stretched its head out to take a look, a little confused. After a while, it said, "I'm not sure." The environment of the source was similar. Whether it was here last time or not, it was also a little uncertain. As for Fong Ping, he looked again and smiled. It might not be the place last time, but near the Beast Emperor or North King's territory. As he said that, Fong Ping exhaled. Since someone wants to help us, then let's help him. The owner of this kind of thing seems to deliberately pretend not to see us, so let's ignore him. Old Zhang nodded slightly and said quickly, "Then let's go find the Beast Emperor. Heavenly King subduing, and the others have already made arrangements. Once the battle starts, they will immediately approach the area where North King is, entangle him, and stop other people who might make trouble." "Okay," Fong Ping responded and smiled. "Let's go out and take a look. Everyone be careful." "Meow," the cat responded. Old Zhang sneered. "I'm not weaker than you. You should be more careful." "You?" Fong Ping snorted. "What were you bragging about? 1 against 10? Both of them did not waste any more words and quickly walked out of the vitality seed. Fong Ping was not in a hurry to destroy this thing. It would not be too late to destroy it after killing the Beast Emperor, in case the Beast Emperor found out in advance. The Beast Emperor was in the 6th heaven. Fong Ping did not know which heaven this was. He would know after going out and taking a look. According to the previous arrangement, the Emperor of Heaven Reverse was in charge of the 7th heaven. However, the Emperor of Heaven Reverse was in charge of the territory that belonged to him. The 7th heaven would only be left with some battle force, not his real body. The 6th heaven. In the darkness, an incomparably huge dragon was circling in the central area. At this moment, the Beast Emperor's huge eyes were wide open, extremely vigilant. The 3 realms was no longer safe. The source was no longer safe. It was dangerous. It was also very frightening, including him, the ancient emperor, the emperor of the demon race. At the edge of the 6th heaven, a shadow appeared as if it had been here for a long time. The Beast Emperor seemed to know of this person's existence. His mentality fluctuated. Xiong still doesn't want to show up? Yes. Damn it. The Beast Emperor bellowed and transmitted his voice. He has given up on us. If not, go to the Celestial Emperor. The fruits are controlled by the Celestial Emperor. Xiong can no longer be trusted. North King's shadow transmitted. The fruits are controlled. Our lives are in the hands of a single thought. We can't care about that anymore. The Beast Emperor said angrily. Xiong suddenly returned to the 36th heaven and will no longer participate in the matters of the source. When Desolation was killed last time, it was all bark and no bite. Those people in the town were all there, but he did not do anything. The Beast Emperor was furious. He said quickly, "You and I need to work together to kill the two emperors and escape from this cage. The fruits are hidden. As long as our real bodies are not dead, they cannot find the fruits." This was also the safest way at the moment. The three realms was getting stranger and stranger. The two emperors sensed the danger. "Kill who?" North King said gloomily. "It will be very difficult. We have to do it even if it is difficult. Hong Kuan, Qin Fengqing, Tengu. These people are all new emperors. Although Xu Xiang is not weak, she can also be killed. Once she is killed, it will be enough for us to fill in the gaps and leave this place." North King was silent for a moment. "It is very dangerous. Even if we escape the source, it may not be safe outside. Maybe it is time to talk to the Celestial Emperor. Hand over the fruits and let him control them." The Beast Emperor was silent. He was the one who suggested it before, but it was difficult for him to accept it. If the fruits were controlled by the Celestial Emperor, then their lives would be in the hands of the Celestial Emperor. Even if the Celestial Emperor controlled the source, he could not find their fruits unless he killed their real bodies. But the Celestial Emperor would not make a move now. The man and the dragon fell into silence. The next moment, North King's shadow trembled slightly. "Oh no, it seems that someone broke into my territory." Huh? The Beast Emperor was slightly shocked. "Be careful. If necessary, I will rush over immediately." Help each other. This was what the two emperors agreed on. At this moment, someone suddenly broke into North King's territory. The Beast Emperor was also worried that something would happen to North King. If something happened, the fox would grieve for the rabbit. He was afraid that he would become the next Emperor Nan. North King's shadow trembled. "I will go back first. Be careful. The three realms is no longer peaceful. If anything happens, I will rush over immediately." Okay. The Beast Emperor waited for the shadow to dissipate and raised his vigilance again. Chapter 1459. Have Heavenly King and the rest left? Not yet. In the darkness, Fong Ping asked telepathically, and old Zhang replied. They communicated through the mentality jade pendant. If they left, they would be notified. Fong Ping frowned slightly. Right now, they were lurking in the fifth heaven. The vitality seed was also in the fifth heaven. It was not that there was no one in this heaven. Someone had confirmed that there was someone in this heaven. However, the owner of this heaven did not know that Fong Ping and the others walked out of the vitality seed. The owner of this place was none other than Li Zhu, suppressed by Dongwang. Fong Ping felt a little strange. Soon, he sneered and said telepathically, Heavenly King and the rest haven't left yet. But North King seems to be in trouble. It was not caused by Heavenly King. They did not see North King at Beast Emperor's side, but they saw the world where North King was trembling slightly. They did not know if someone had broken in. Was this telling them not to go to North King and focus on killing Beast Emperor? This time, the bait was Beast Emperor? Only Beast Emperor needed to be cleaned up? North King did not seem to have been abandoned yet. Old Zhang, who do you think is helping us hold North King back? Dong Huang, Emperor, Earthly Emperor, it's all possible. Old Zhang also sneered and transmitted his voice. None of these emperors are good people. Fong Ping frowned slightly. Emperors were bad. However, these guys wanted him to kill Beast Emperor just to give him bait. Demon Emperor Path. Fong Ping murmured in his heart. Did these guys have this intention? After killing Beast Emperor, Demon Emperor Path would be empty. Would these guys want people to walk the complete Demon Emperor Path? Monster Emperor, Heavenly Wood. Fong Ping thought of these two. If we kill Beast Emperor, maybe those guys will let us get lost. Fong Ping murmured, his eyes turning quickly. If we kill North King, these guys may let us continue to kill Beast Emperor. Give them a chance. Old Zhang looked at Fong Ping, frowned slightly, and said telepathically, killing Beast Emperor is safer. North King is not weak. Besides, there are still people over there. I don't know who they are. The North King might be able to escape, but the Beast Emperor won't be able to. The Heavenly King is in the third heaven, and we're right below him. The Beast Emperor is trapped in the middle, and there's nowhere for him to run. If we want to kill someone, we have to kill the North King first. Old Zhang could not dissuade him. After some consideration, he nodded. Then let's go there. But if Dong Wang and the others are there, we'll see. Fong Ping dived down stealthily as he said, when we enter their world, they will have some weak senses. But it's fine. Even if the Beast Emperor is vigilant, it's fine as long as we don't attack him now. The sixth heaven belonged to the Beast Emperor, the seventh heaven belonged to the deceased Emperor Nan, the eighth heaven belonged to the departed Emperor Shi, the ninth heaven was empty, and the 10th heaven belonged to the North Emperor. Below them was Emperor Ling's Spirit Emperor was not at the origin, but at the immortal origin, so there was no need to worry about the North Emperor receiving him. Let's go. Tell Heavenly King Crusader and the others to keep an eye on the Beast King. Fong Ping, Old Zhang, and the cat dived down quickly. Boom! The sixth heaven trembled slightly. On the other side, the Beast Emperor's body suddenly grew in size, and a powerful aura erupted from him. He was extremely vigilant. Even if it was only a slight tremble, he was still extremely vigilant. The three realms was not peaceful. Several powerful emperors seemed to be plotting something. Emperor Nan was dead. Emperor Shi had run away. And now he and the North Emperor were very worried that they would become the next victims. In the 8,000 years since the heavenly realm was broken, the Beast Emperor and the others had always felt that everything was under control. But since the fall of Emperor Nan, the few of them no longer had such confidence. Fong Ping had even suppressed Emperor Ling before, so they did not dare to be careless. The sixth heaven trembled for a moment, and then there was no movement. The Beast Emperor had been vigilant, even prepared to escape at any time. But unless it was absolutely necessary, these people did not want to leave the source. If they left the source, not only would their strength be suppressed, but they would also not be in the source. Once a strong enemy broke into the source and found their fruits, it would be troublesome. The seventh heaven, the eighth heaven. In the blink of an eye, Fong Ping and the others arrived at the eighth heaven. It was quiet here. Emperor Shi had seized Emperor Nan's fruit and repaired this place. Fong Ping glanced around and smiled. Big cat, can you find Emperor Shi's fruit? The cat shook its head. If they are not dead, their strength will not return, and there is no movement in the fruit. It is almost impossible to find it. Unless one was really lucky, it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens to find the fruit of a living sovereign realm cultivator. This was also the reason why not many people came to look for Emperor Shi after he ran away. If they did not kill Emperor Shi, it would be difficult to find him. Of course, if they really destroyed everything inch by inch, Emperor Shi's fruit could not be hidden. The key was that no one would do that at this time. The ninth heaven was just below. It was also an uninhabited place. Fong Ping and the others continued to dive. After a while, they looked at the barrier of the 10th heaven, a little hesitant. If they broke through, there would still be some movement. They did not know if North King would notice in advance. It was not a big deal if he noticed. The key was that there might be others inside. The movement here was not small. Go down. Fong Ping did not delay any longer. He quickly dived down, and the man and the cat followed quietly. The 10th heaven. North King looked at the shadow in the sky, frowned, and said coldly, "Since you are here, why hide your head and show your face?" The shadow laughed. "Even if I show my face, Xian, you will not believe me. It was just a projection, not the real body." It was not difficult to change one's appearance and not reveal one's aura. North King did not care. His eyes flickered. "If that's the case, then I don't care who you are. What do you want from me?" "Brother Xian, a disaster is imminent. Don't you know?" North King sneered. "A disaster is imminent because of you guys. What's the use of knowing?" "That's not true." The shadow laughed. "If you really want to live, then it is not impossible to save yourself. The fruit is your life-saving straw." "Humph," North King said coldly. "It's fine if I hand it to Celestial Emperor. If I hand it to someone else, I'm afraid they can't wait to destroy my Dao fruit. Do you really think I don't know?" Xiong and the others have always wanted to restrain Celestial Emperor. If not, why would Hao not guard the immortal source but hand it over to Spirit? "You are Celestial Emperor's man?" He would not easily believe this person. This person's identity was unknown. He might be Celestial Emperor's man, or even their projection. Of course, it could also be the projection of the God Emperor and the others. The shadow laughed. Words are no proof. At this moment, North King's heart moved. Someone else had entered this world. Who was it this time? The shadow was just a projection. This world did not belong to the shadow. The shadow did not care. He continued, I have Celestial Emperor's order. If you are willing to hand over the fruit, Celestial Emperor will deal with those people. Even if you die, he will revive you. Revive? North King seemed to have heard a joke. He said coldly, they are all dead. The fruit is in your hands. Who dares to take it seriously? Moreover, if Celestial Emperor wants to talk, then let him come. You are not qualified to represent Celestial Emperor. You are not qualified to make me hand over the fruit. Celestial Emperor wants to come personally, but those people have been watching him for many years. Cheong is now guarding the 36 heavens. He is not guarding against the chaos of the Source Land, but Celestial Emperor. He should be suppressing Celestial Emperor. Brother Xian should know Cheong's goal. If not, there is no need for others to do it. In the Source Land, the first heaven was above. The 36 heavens were below, and Celestial Emperor was at the bottom. Therefore, the God Emperor suppressing his Source Land was also suppressing Celestial Emperor. North King's eyes flickered. Who are you? How? Hong? Or Ji? Is it that important? The Phantom laughed. As long as Brother Xian agrees, Celestial Emperor can guarantee your safety. Heh. North King sneered. You don't even dare to show your real body. How can I trust you so easily? Showing my real body will cause too much commotion. Moreover, I am worried that Brother Xian will misunderstand. As he said that, the Phantom suddenly said, Brother Xian, please make a decision as soon as possible. Fong Ping and the others have already sneaked into the Source Land. This time, Beast may be used as a sacrifice in the battle between Celestial Emperor and Cheong. North King was shocked. Fong Ping and the others sneaked into the Source Land again? This person knew, but did not stop them. Even the God Emperor and the others might know, but did not stop them. North King's heart turned cold. He said coldly, what a good coercion and temptation. I am afraid you let them in on purpose to force me and Cheong to hand over the fruit? Fong Ping's existence was not only a scavenger, but also a deterrent. He was a guy who did not care about right or wrong. He would kill the Emperor whenever he got the chance. Using Fong Ping to deter them was better than using the God Emperor. If he handed over the fruit, these people would help. North King snorted coldly. Then his eyes flickered. You guys are really good at killing with a borrowed knife. It's not impossible for me to hand over the fruit. As he said that, North King said coldly, first, show your real body. Second, let Celestial Emperor's projection descend. Is this necessary? The Phantom laughed. Celestial Emperor's projection descend. As long as you agree, Celestial Emperor will naturally appear. As for my real body, there is no need to appear. Then I am not at ease. I also want to see who Celestial Emperor has roped in. I want to see if they can match Cheong and the others. Otherwise, even if it is Celestial Emperor, I dare not believe that he can win. The Phantom laughed. Brother Xian is really... Humph! North King snorted. Otherwise, I will not believe your sincerity. I also want to see how Celestial Emperor will treat us. The Phantom fell into deep thought. It was a little strange about North King's request. Since he had already said that if you agree, Celestial Emperor will descend to take the fruit, why do you need to show your real body? What was Xian thinking? What was North King thinking? North King did not think much. At this moment, North King was communicating with the Phantom while his mentality swept the surroundings. His mentality trembled slightly. I am welcoming Celestial Emperor's envoy. Celestial Emperor will descend to this sky at any time, and the envoy will also descend in his real body. Your schemes have nothing to do with me. I only hope that it will not affect this sky. He sensed that someone was coming, but he did not know who it was. But someone must have come. At this moment, he needed to use powerhouses like Celestial Emperor to deter them. It did not matter whether the person who came was from the Divine Emperor's side, the Divine Emperor's side, or Fong Ping's side. Celestial Emperor would descend at any time. Of course, the premise was that this envoy was real. Celestial Emperor really intended to use the fruit to control them. In North King's opinion, if it was a real envoy, it was actually a good thing. He had been thinking about this matter previously. The key was to see what Celestial Emperor thought. Whether he only wanted the fruit or wanted the fruit and the Emperor's real body together. These two were not different. One was that it did not matter if his real body died, as long as the fruit was there. The other was that he wanted both. North King naturally had his own plans to make this person reveal his real body. If it was really Celestial Emperor's people and he promised to hand over the fruit, Celestial Emperor might come and take the fruit, but Celestial Emperor might not care about his life. At that time, the Divine Emperor and the others would not let him go easily. If Celestial Emperor took the fruit, he might not care about his life. But if this Celestial Emperor envoy also revealed his real body, at that time, Celestial Emperor would also have to give up on this person. And this person, no matter who it was, as long as it was not a Beast Emperor, the possibility of Celestial Emperor giving up on him was very small. The other emperors were all powerhouses. If Celestial Emperor really wanted to give up on powerhouses, he would be digging his own grave. In the darkness, Fong Ping and the others also heard North King's voice. Celestial Emperor's envoy. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. He saw the existence of the phantom. Was Celestial Emperor roping in North King or forcing him to hand over the fruit to protect himself? What should I do? Old Zhang was a little hesitant. There were outsiders here. Once someone or Celestial Emperor really came, not only would they not be able to kill North King, but it would also be easy to cause trouble. Fong Ping's eyes flickered, and soon his heart moved slightly. The next moment, a phantom appeared in front of him. A pure power projection. Fong Ping's projection moved with the wind and quickly disappeared in front of him. On the other side, North King's heart also moved slightly. In the blink of an eye, in the land of darkness, he condensed a mentality projection. At this moment, Fong Ping's projection also appeared. He could not see his appearance, and he could not see his strength. When the two sides met, Fong Ping said coldly, "That's Xiong's people. Don't believe it easily. Xiong wants to destroy your fruit and restrain Celestial Emperor." North King frowned and said coldly, "Are you trying to say that you are Celestial Emperor's envoy?" He laughed and said playfully, "Do you really think I'm stupid? If I can't see Celestial Emperor, how can I easily hand over the fruit?" "Ignorant!" Fong Ping shouted coldly. "Xiong is only letting people restrain you, not letting you leave this sky. Ji and the others have already gathered in the 18 levels of heaven, ready to ambush and kill you at any time." Celestial Emperor knew what they were thinking, but now is not the time to fight them. Celestial Emperor also does not need to take your fruit now. Just be careful and don't die here. Celestial Emperor wants you to leave this sky as soon as possible. There will be people coming to kill you soon. As he said that, a golden stone appeared in Fong Ping's hand. He said coldly, "I don't need you to hand over the fruit. Celestial Emperor doesn't need it either. Just hide yourself well. Don't die in the source and have your fruit destroyed." When North King saw the golden stone, his expression changed slightly, and he murmured, "Celestial stone." Fong Ping's heart moved slightly, but he did not say anything. He said coldly, "Don't believe those people. Leave as soon as possible. The source is in chaos now, and it is no longer safe." North King frowned, looked at the phantom, and fell into deep thought. This was the real Celestial Emperor's envoy. Then, who was the person in front of him? "Who are you?" "I have no comment." Fong Ping laughed coldly. "I'm just reminding you not to be restrained by others and die here. As for the rest, don't ask. As long as you don't die and the fruit doesn't appear, Celestial Emperor will not lose anything. He doesn't have to control your fruit. Since you are in the source, you can't run away. Why would Celestial Emperor care about your life? He's just afraid that your fruit will be destroyed and increase the burden of the source." North King's expression changed. That was true. Celestial Emperor did not need him to die, but to not destroy the fruit. As for whether it would return to Celestial Emperor's control, Celestial Emperor might not care, provided that it was not destroyed by others. So, that fellow in front was fake? At this moment, North King was hesitating. Should he leave the 10th heaven or not? The source is only so big. Although there are 36 heavens, other places are also very dangerous. Where do you want me to go? Fong Ping laughed coldly. That's up to you. What we care about is the fruit. If the fruit is not destroyed, even if you hide in the human world, it has nothing to do with Celestial Emperor. Of course, the human world is more dangerous. If you leave the source, your strength will be suppressed, and it will be more dangerous to go to the human world. Finding a space rift to hide yourself is the safest. Fong Ping said indifferently, I'm just reminding you that I should leave now. That fellow in front, whether you believe it or not, don't reveal the fruit easily. Also, it's better to leave as soon as possible. As soon as he finished speaking, the projection quickly flew away. North King's mentality projection also dissipated quickly. Where did your projection go just now? Old Zhang looked at Fong Ping curiously. Did you go to find North King? Didn't you want to kill him? Fong Ping laughed. I'm pretending to be Celestial Emperor's messenger, for fun. North King is stronger in the 10th heaven. If I can leave, that will be the best. And if I leave once we fight in the other chaotic heavens, even if those people want to help, it will not be so fast. There are dozens of heavens between us. If there is a deviation in the arrival and we enter the 10th heaven, that will be the best. Also, I'm worried that there will be people lying in ambush here in advance. Old Zhang looked at him in surprise. They believe that you were pretending to be Celestial Emperor's messenger? Did he really think that North King was a fool? Fong Ping did not care. He did not think that North King was a fool, but he did not ask North King to do anything. He did not ask for the fruit. He did not ask for anything. He only asked him to run away. And this golden stone should not be simple. This was given to Fong Ping by Tian Chun, so that he could contact Celestial Emperor. Celestial Emperor also hid very well. Obviously, this golden stone was unique to Celestial Emperor. Otherwise, Celestial Emperor would not be worried that someone would find him with a stone and find out where he was hiding. North King shouted Celestial Stone. Obviously, he recognized this item, and it should be something unique to Celestial Emperor. Did the North Emperor trust him more? Or did he trust that phantom image more? As for the origin of the phantom, Fong Ping did not want to pursue it, as long as it did not cause trouble. But obviously, this fellow was here to cause trouble, and it seemed like he wanted to take away North King's fruit. What would North King choose? Fong Ping felt that if North King left the 10th heaven now, he would not lose anything. If he stayed, what if the phantom really wanted to kill him in order to stabilize him? Whether this fellow believes it or not, the probability of him leaving now is very high. Also, he will not go down. It will be safer if he goes up. Below, he will not encounter Celestial Emperor first, but the Divine Emperor. Also, as I said, there are people gathering below, ready to kill him. Fong Ping judged. Go back to the 9th heaven. This fellow will most likely leave. What if he leaves from the 3 gates? The target is too big. Does he dare to leave from the 3 gates now? He probably wants to wait until the limelight dies down before leaving the source land. Now, he will find a deserted place to hide. No one knows where he is, so the 9th heaven is very suitable. Then, Old Zhang wanted to say more, but Fong Ping said impatiently, whether he goes or not, this place is not safe. Celestial Emperor and that fellow's real body may come. Why not go to the 9th heaven and gamble? Even if they don't come, it's okay. Isn't there still a Beast Emperor? Fong Ping still did not choose to make a move on the 10th heaven. North King was stronger here, and Celestial Emperor and the Phantom might come. The chances of killing North King in the 9th heaven were higher. Thinking of this, Fong Ping punched the ground. The ground shook, revealing a small crack. Fong Ping did not waste any time and floated up again. Soon, he tore the dark zone above and quickly entered the 9th heaven. Far away, North King felt the vibration. The person left. As for where he went, he could not tell. At this moment, the phantom in front of him was still talking. North King thought for a while and suddenly said, "Since Celestial Emperor can't come, Celestial Emperor's token is not considered a rare item. If you take out the Celestial Stone, I will treat you as Celestial Emperor's messenger." The phantom laughed. Brother Xian also knows that the Celestial Stone is a solidified item of Celestial Emperor's spiritual consciousness. Celestial Emperor's hiding in the Source Land is to prevent Xiong and the others from having ulterior motives. The Celestial Stone is a solidified item of Celestial Emperor's spiritual consciousness. Once it is lost and taken by Xiong and the others, there is a possibility that they can trace Celestial Emperor's location. North King said coldly, "The possibility of the Celestial Stone tracking Celestial Emperor is too small. It is not too difficult for Celestial Emperor to discover it in time and cut off contact. Is my Tao fruit not comparable to a Celestial Stone?" The phantom sighed. "Brother Xian, as I said, as long as you agree, Celestial Emperor's projection will come. At that time, we will naturally be able to distinguish the truth." North King frowned. After a while, he said, "Then I will go to Xiong and test him. I don't believe that even if he really wants to kill me, will he attack me now?" As he spoke, he was about to break through the 10th heaven and leave. Seeing this, the phantom had to remind him, "Brother Xian, it is more dangerous to leave this place now. Here, you can still use your full strength." North King looked at him deeply. "Not letting me leave? Holding me back? Someone is lying in ambush at the 18th heaven, ready to charge into the 10th heaven at any time?" North King thought for a while and suddenly said, "Where is your true body now?" North King said coldly, "If Fong Ping and the others come, how long will it take for you to arrive? I at least want to know how Celestial Emperor will protect me. Celestial Emperor can't come, but you should be able to." The phantom pondered for a while and said slowly, "Brother Xian will come to help after holding on for half a cup of tea's time. Half a cup of tea's time, about 5 minutes. 5 minutes, crossing the heavens, could almost reach here from the 18th heaven. Of course, a difference of 1 or 2 heavens was about the same." North King's heart stirred slightly. Someone was lying in ambush at the 18th heaven. The phantom's true body was probably over there. With this confirmation, the guy with the Celestial Stone might not have lied to him. These people wanted to kill him, and this phantom was only holding him back so that he would let his guard down. He wanted to leave, but this person kept stopping him. North King originally didn't want to believe any of them, but now he couldn't help but suspect if the phantom was already preparing to sneak in and ambush him. "You said that Fong Ping and the others sneaked in to kill the beasts, but why hasn't there been any movement until now?" "Maybe they're watching." North King looked at him coldly. "Watching? Did Fong Ping and the others have that much patience?" It was probably to prevent him from escaping to the beasts. In at most half a cup of tea's time, these people would arrive. He had to leave this place quickly and find a deserted place to hide. North King no longer cared about the phantom at this moment. His strength exploded, and with a bang, the phantom was shattered. Looking at the 10th heaven, North King snorted lightly and left this place. Otherwise, he would be in great danger. With a bang, North King broke through the heaven and earth and quickly entered the 9th heaven. He would hide here first and then find a chance to leave the Source Land. He couldn't care less that his strength would be suppressed if he left the Source Land. It was better than waiting for death here. They really came? Old Zhang was really a little surprised. Fong Ping just casually bluffed, and North King believed him? Wasn't he too stupid? Unbeknownst to him, North King also felt that he was in trouble. At this moment, he could only take a risk. Otherwise, if he was trapped in the 10th heaven, he would not even have a chance to fight. Kill! Fong Ping's mentality fluctuated, waking old Zhang up. Who cared if North King was stupid or not? Since he was here, it was easier to kill him while his strength was not at its peak. What nonsense! Great Tao Book, open. Old Zhang did not waste any time. With a low shout, a book floated out, covering heaven and earth. The Great Tao Book appeared. In the past, relying on this great Tao book, he alone covered many catacombs true kings, and no one could break it. With a book and a pointer, when a martial king entered the catacombs, it also shook the catacombs. At this moment, the great Tao book appeared again. Not only that, in the next moment, a seal fell from the sky. Human ruler seal, lock heaven and earth. With a low shout, the human ruler seal fell. With a bang, the surrounding void instantly became much more viscous. Everyone, lend me your strength. Old Zhang shouted again. Suddenly, in the source universe, countless stars suddenly dimmed, their power drawn by the human Emperor Tao. Old Zhang held the pointer in his hand. At this moment, like a god of war, he instantly attacked the ugly North King. North King had fallen into the trap. Chapter 1460. Zhang Tao, Fong Ping. The North Emperor grunted coldly, and he didn't delay any longer. He shouted explosively, and an image appeared in the heavens and the earth. Beast, come and help. This place wasn't too far away from the 6th layer of heaven. Beast Emperor would arrive very soon. But just as he shouted, in the next moment, another phantom appeared between heaven and earth. It was a giant dragon. Xian, gather up. The Beast Emperor let out a furious roar, his soul almost leaving his body. At this moment, many experts had entered the 6th heaven. Heavenly King, Subduing King, Book Fragrance, God Creation Envoy, Heavenly Dog. These people wanted to kill him. He might not even be a match for a single Heavenly King, Subduing Heavenly King, let alone so many experts. Even if they broke into the 6th heaven and were not as strong as they were at their peak, the 4 of them together were enough to kill him. The North King was stronger than him. At this moment, it seemed like only Fong Ping and the Martial King were attacking the North King. He felt that the North King would be able to break through and join them. The North Emperor thought so as well. The North Emperor's saber appeared and slashed at the great Tao book. A loud sound rang out. At this moment, the North Emperor's expression changed drastically. Martial King? The only person he was wary of was Fong Ping, not King Wu, even if King Wu had broken through 9 ranks. But what was the situation now? His blade actually failed to shatter the book of the great Tao. At the critical moment of life and death, he had given it his all, but he was actually unable to shatter the book of the great Tao. The North Emperor's expression changed drastically. Fong Ping alone might not be able to do anything to him, but with the addition of a powerful martial king, it was a matter of life and death. Vitality erupted from the North Emperor's body, and his jade-like body flickered. His projection had taught Fong Ping the golden body technique in the mystic realm. He had always walked the path of the physique, and right now, his physique was incomparably strong. Vaguely, he was even slightly stronger than Fong Ping. Break! The North Emperor directly gave up on the North Emperor blade. With a roar, he grabbed the great Tao book and wanted to tear it apart. At the same time, imperial auras erupted everywhere. The battle between the 6th and 9th heavens had broken out. The other sovereigns also quickly sensed it. Regardless of what they were thinking at this moment, there were people constantly shouting, "Hold on, we'll be there soon." No matter what, even if he couldn't wait for the 2 of them to die, he still had to maintain his dignity. These experts all rushed over to this side. However, the North Emperor's heart was greatly shaken. In less than 5 minutes, it was even longer than the time it took to rescue Emperor Nan. Could he wait that long? Previously, he had been confident, but now it was all gone. A martial king had actually suppressed him. Impossible. He really didn't dare to believe it. Even if a martial king had broken through to the 9th level, how could he be so strong without proving his Tao? Origin power. He looked at the martial king with disbelief. How could this be? How could he gather origin power? Even the North King was fighting with his blood energy. It wasn't that he couldn't use his origin power, but the difference between his spiritual power and blood energy was too great. If he converted his spiritual power into origin power, he might not necessarily be as powerful as he was now. He looked at Fong Ping, who was silently surrounding and attacking him from behind, and at King Wu in front of him, his face full of anger and unwillingness. Origin power. Both of them were using origin power. This was not normal. It was one thing for Fang Ping to keep using his force, but King Wu's vitality force and mentality were obviously quite different from each other. How could he still use force outburst? The North Emperor roared furiously. His arms were like Vajra, and with a rumble, he tore the great Tao book apart. Old Zhang was not flustered. He smiled faintly and said, "There are thousands of great Taos, and I walk on all of them." There was a loud boom. The book of the great Tao opened, and the previous page shattered. "There are thousands of great Taos, and you've only torn off one page." Old Zhang had already rushed over with a pointer in his hand. He whipped out his bamboo whip. The North Emperor swung his fist and attacked. His physique was extremely strong. Behind him, Fang Ping said faintly, "Don't treat me as if I don't exist. King Wu is not the main character." Boom! Fang Ping's saber cleaved the heavens and the earth, an outburst of 90 million calories. However, he alone surpassed the North Emperor. The North Emperor roared furiously. When he entered the ninth heaven, he was already slightly weakened. However, at this moment, something unexpected happened. The North Emperor roared. The 10th heaven below him suddenly shook. The next moment, a gray object that looked like a stone broke through the air from the 10th heaven and flew into the North Emperor's body. "Tao fruit." There was a low growl. The next moment, someone shouted, "Quick, suppress the 10th heaven. Xian, don't act recklessly." Act recklessly? The North Emperor snorted coldly. His vitality surged, and he said coldly, "If you all want to see me die, then don't even think about having an easy time. Fang Ping, kill me, and don't even think about taking the Tao fruit away. Even if I die today, I will self-destruct this Tao fruit so that you all get nothing. I will let all the powerhouses of the origin suffer from the chaos of the origin." The North Emperor was too straightforward. He did not hide the Tao fruit. He did not even consider that after his death, the Tao fruit might not be discovered. It might continue to lie dormant, waiting to be resurrected. He took the Tao fruit directly, ignoring the riots of the 10th heaven. He did not care that after he was killed, the Tao fruit would be discovered. If he was really killed, he would self-destruct this Tao fruit. Fang Ping was also slightly shocked, and then he laughed. "Good, straightforward enough? An Emperor Realm expert does have some courage. You're really straightforward. I'll kill you then." The North Emperor snorted coldly. He was gambling on the Celestial Emperor's attack. Otherwise, if he was killed today, the Tao fruit would definitely be destroyed. He was not even a match for a King Wu, let alone Fang Ping. If both sides attacked him, he would be dead for sure. Chaos quelling. Fang Ping did not care about that. If he could not get it, then he could not get it. Kill him first. The glaive of the Changdao erupted, covering the starry sky. The King Wu's bamboo whip fell. The North Emperor shattered the void, disappeared under the bamboo whip, and met Fang Ping's slash with his saber. Boom! The two sabers collided, and the North Emperor's arm exploded with a brilliant light. With his powerful physique, he only suffered some minor injuries, but he still managed to push Fang Ping back. Behind him, Zhang Tao scolded, "Stop him, but not me. Are you looking down on me?" This was the day when he would shine. How dare he not give him face? The North Emperor could not be bothered with him. At this moment, the 10th heaven was shaking violently, but the North Emperor did not seem to see it, letting the 10th heaven be destroyed. If it continued to be destroyed, his Tao would also collapse. But he did not care. He was about to die. Why would he care about this? Let the Celestial Emperor worry. Destroy! Boom! The North Emperor punched the bamboo whip, and heaven and earth collapsed. The Book of Great Tao broke a few pages instantly. Annihilate! The North Emperor roared again, his vitality burning, and the void was burning. Fang Ping had just rushed over, but his whole body felt like it was on fire. His vitality was ignited, and all his hair was burned in an instant. On the other side, the gray cat who was watching the battle from afar ran away with its tail between its legs. The North Emperor was stronger than it, and its cat fur was almost burned. The three of them were instantly engaged in a battle. The sixth heaven, the Beast Emperor roared. At this moment, it did not care anymore, and it followed suit. In the sixth heaven, a piece of black soil entered its body with a rumble. Boom! The Beast Emperor's vitality was also flourishing. Crack! The sixth heaven began to shatter, and a large number of cracks began to spread, as if it was going to break the world. The Beast Emperor turned into a giant dragon, roaring, "You want to sit back and watch us die? Dream on! All the demons in the world, bless me!" Boom! There was an explosion, and at this moment, the power of countless monsters began to flow between heaven and earth. The Beast Emperor was getting stronger and stronger. "Staff come!" There was a roar. On the Catacombs continent, the monster emperor's face was pale, looking at the sky with a cold expression, but it could not stop the power from flowing. As for the gray cat, the fishing rod began to shake, wanting to return to the Beast Emperor. The gray cat held the Beast Emperor's staff tightly, cursing angrily. "It's mine. I picked it up, so it's mine. It's not yours. Don't you dare snatch it." The Beast Emperor was also furious, but there was nothing he could do. At this moment, the Heavenly King Garrison had already charged over. He did not make a sound, slashing wildly with his saber. The Heavenly King was stronger than him. As for the others, the fragrance of books was not weak either. Originally, he did not place the two of them in his eyes. But very quickly, the Beast Emperor knew that he was wrong. At this moment, the God Creation Envoy was all smiles and did not participate in the battle. He said with a smile, "It wasn't easy for me to study the Tao fruit, and I've finally gained something. Beast Emperor, I'll use you as an experiment. Thank you for providing me with the opportunity to experiment." Before the Beast Emperor could understand, he saw that the God Creation Envoy did not care about him. Instead, he walked up to the cracks and carefully avoided them. He muttered, "This is the crack of the great Tao. After absorbing energy, it will produce a crack of the origin." This was the crack that was created after the power was absorbed. The God Creation Envoy smiled and said, "Our powers all originate from this side, the power of the origin. I wonder if fellow Beast Emperor has heard of the siphon principle? 2 water bottles, different amounts of water. Make a pipe. Insert the high end into the bottle with less water. Remember, don't make the horizontal plane the same height. Insert the other side of the pipe into the one with more water. You will discover. It's really interesting. The bottle with more water will actually automatically flow to the side with less water." The God Creation Envoy sighed with emotion. "The junior high school physics knowledge of the human world is too interesting. I've always been thinking that if we absorb the power of the source, does that mean that the cracks in the source are too lacking in power and were sucked away by you? Why don't you suck it? The Tao fruit is actually a plug that blocks the pipe that connects you, so you can barely prevent your power from being sucked away. If you pull out this plug, then you can suck it out. You actually pulled it out yourself?" The Beast Emperor was stunned when he heard this, but he had a bad premonition. In the next moment, the God Crafting Envoy threw out a huge pipe. One end of it was suddenly stuffed into a huge crack, while the other end was thrown towards Sky King Suppressing Dragon, laughing. "Old man work, suck him for me. If it's useful, then I'll be rich. I'll bring this pipe to the sky where I'm at and see if I can absorb any energy. It doesn't matter if there's no Tao fruit. As long as I return the energy, I'll be leaving first." King Suppressing Heaven was also speechless, but he took the huge pipe and suddenly covered the Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor had actually already felt an incomparably huge threat. Although he didn't understand, it didn't mean that he couldn't tell what these people were trying to do. He immediately roared and retreated crazily. However, his body was too big, and King Suppressing Heaven still casually threw the pipe onto his body. This pipe, like a living creature, suddenly sucked on his body. Boom! The Beast Emperor's power began to go out of control, and a large amount of blood energy was absorbed. Through the pipe, it instantly flowed into the crack, and the crack that was previously growing suddenly became much smaller. The God Creation Envoy's face turned red with excitement. "It really worked. Sure enough, the source needed them to return their power. Unfortunately, the suction force wasn't strong enough, and with the Tao fruit as a stopper, it blocked the hole, preventing the Emperor's power from flowing out. But now, the Beast Emperor had taken away the Tao fruit, and the stopper had been opened by him. The God Creation Envoy was about to go crazy with excitement. This was the Beast Emperor's, and the North Emperor was the same. He had taken away the stopper, and now that the North Emperor was being beaten up, could he also go and absorb it? The hope of escaping. The God Creation Envoy laughed out loud. This special pipe seemed to be able to increase the horsepower, and in an instant, it was at full power, crazily absorbing the Beast Emperor's power to fill in those flaws. And at this time, the goal of King suppressing heaven and the book fragrance was to fix the Beast Emperor in place, making it impossible for him to escape from this pipe. Let all of his power be absorbed and returned to the source. Of course, suppressing the crack left behind by the Beast Emperor was not their goal. The God Creation Envoy chuckled and directly shattered the void, dragging the pipe back to his own territory. He was going to fill up his own crack. Everyone, don't kill me. Slow down, wait for me to finish absorbing it. You must be careful. Don't kill me. The God Creation Envoy cried out. Don't kill him. If you kill him, where can you get such a powerful force to fill up the hole? Under the speechless gazes of the crowd, the God Creation Envoy quickly arrived at the fourth heaven. This was where he had taken root. The fifth heaven was Li Zhu's territory. In the next moment, in the fourth heaven, the God Creation Envoy's Tao fruit was taken away by him, revealing a crack. He quickly stuffed the other end of the pipe into the crack. At this moment, the God Creation Envoy cried out in joy. How satisfying! Using the Beast Emperor's power to repair the hole, the Beast Emperor was much stronger than him. But now, the stronger the better, the easier it was to repair it. On the other side, the Heavenly Hound roared, Blacksmith, leave some for this Emperor. Puffed, your great Tao is being controlled, and you're still the lackey of the Heavenly Emperor. What do you want? Even if you want it, it's useless. Old Goshen, I'll give you some of the rest later. The God Creation Envoy chuckled. Awesome. Look, what does it mean to sit back and enjoy the benefits of a fisherman? Look, what is wisdom? This is it. Now, it's useless even if your Beast Emperor explodes with his Tao fruit. Your power won't dissipate that quickly, and I can still continue to absorb it. The Heavenly Hound was enraged and suddenly gritted its teeth. You don't want to give it to me, right? Go and snatch it yourself. Woof! A dog's bark resounded through the world. The Heavenly Hound opened its mouth and bit towards the suppressed Beast Emperor. I'll eat you directly. The Beast Emperor roared violently and struggled. He was suppressed by the Heavenly King subduing and the book fragrance, but that was not the key. If he was suppressed, he could retaliate, but that pipe seemed to have taken root in his body and was continuously absorbing his energy. That was the absorption power of the source, coupled with the special nature of the pipe, causing his energy to rapidly dissipate. Not only that side, but the crack in the sixth heaven where he was also absorbing his energy. Double absorption. This was equivalent to him suppressing two heavens by himself and being surrounded and killed by a few emperors. Even if it was an emperor with a cultivation base of over 100 million, he would not be able to handle such a thing. 36 levels of heaven. The divine emperor could not help but exclaim, "Genius! A true genius!" He had almost forgotten about it, forgotten about the number one blacksmith in the three realms. But today he had let everyone know what a genius was. He used a pipe to completely suppress the Beast Emperor, causing the Beast Emperor to become weaker and weaker. One person was equivalent to suppressing two heavens. If the pipe had a fork, could it allow the Beast Emperor to fight against three heavens? For heavens? Definitely. The premise was that the cracks in those places were transmitting a suction force, and someone had taken away the Tao fruit. The powerful Beast Emperor had become a sheep waiting to be slaughtered. The more he fought, the weaker he became. Heaven subduing king and book fragrance were not weak. They had completely suppressed him. The Heavenly Hound was like a mad dog, devouring his body. At this rate, the Beast Emperor would be eaten until not even his skin was left. He is a genius, Doyi nodded. If he was not a genius, he could not create a source of immortality. 80% of the relic artifacts in the three realms were made by this man. If he was not a genius, then who was? He wants to get out, the Heaven Reverse Emperor murmured. The Divine Emperor shook his head and sighed. There are many geniuses in the three realms, and he is one of the best. It is a pity he cannot leave, and he cannot leave. A genius invention. It is a pity that the fruit of Tao has appeared. Yes, the fruit of Tao had appeared. The God Creation Messenger had taken away the fruit of Tao, which was why the crack had appeared, and the crack had the suction force. He had exposed the fruit of Tao. As for the Beast Emperor, he was doomed. Facing so many powerful warriors, he was still weakening his strength and suppressing two heavens. If he did not die, then these people would be too useless. Sure enough, as the Divine Emperor finished his words, at the sixth heaven, the Beast Emperor revealed a deep sorrow. He was doomed. His strength had been weakened too much, and he had to face two powerful warriors who were not weaker than him. Jun was even more powerful than him. Could he still survive? No. Ha, ha, ha. Tens of thousands of years of planning, all for nothing. Monsters. The monsters will be monsters forever? Slaves? Heaven Emperor. At this moment, the Beast Emperor's body was enormous. The body of a dragon reflected the three realms. Heaven Emperor. The Beast Emperor roared again. You promise me that as long as I can walk out of the path of the Monster King, you will protect the monsters from extinction, protect the monsters from becoming slaves. In the void, a vast spiritual energy was transmitted. The Heaven Emperor sighed. I do not want you to die. It was hard to tell the truth, but he did not want the Beast Emperor's fruit of Tao to collapse. But now, the situation was deteriorating rapidly. The Beast Emperor was almost sucked dry by the thing made by the God Creation Messenger. At this rate, the fruit of Tao would collapse. The Beast Emperor was not so excited at this moment. He sneered and did not care if it was real or fake. He shouted coldly, "This emperor has lived for so many years and does not care about life and death. At this point, I will definitely die. This emperor only wants to know, is it you or Qiong who wants me to die? Who would be the next Beast King? Kunpeng? That cowardly fellow. Can he replace this emperor to become an emperor? Being schemed against by others without knowing it. What qualifications does he have to replace this emperor?" The Heavenly Emperor sighed again. The Beast Emperor seemed to understand and sneered. At this moment, although his power had been absorbed, Heavenly King Jin and Shu Xiang did not seem to have exerted much strength. They were really afraid that if they killed him, too much of his power would leak out. The Beast Emperor was also happy to relax. He roughly knew what everyone was planning. You want Tian Mu and Kunpeng to become emperors at the same time, fuse the two Daos into one, and condense a Tao fruit in the first heaven? The Beast Emperor sneered. These two fellows could represent the demon race. The Heavenly would represent the demon plant, but what qualifications did the Kunpeng have to represent the demon beast race? Ever since he descended to the three realms, the demon race had declined to the point where the human race of the three realms dared to hunt the demon race to forge divine weapons. How could the demon race have fallen to such a state before he was trapped? The Beast Emperor glanced at Heavenly King Jin and Shu Xiang and suddenly laughed. Leave some power for me, just a little. I want to leave some for my descendant so that he can prove his Tao and become an emperor. Heavenly King Jin trembled slightly. They want to kill me so that the two new emperors can prove their Tao and perfect the Tao of the demon race. Wishful thinking. If I am having a hard time, how can I let them have it easy? Ha! The Beast Emperor laughed loudly. At this moment, he suddenly spat out a huge pearl. He can also be considered a powerhouse of your human race. Him becoming an emperor will only bring benefits and no harm. Although I am dead, the dragon race will still be the emperor of the demon race. My death is not because of you. I can only blame myself for being too ambitious and lacking in strength. I wanted to fish in troubled waters and turn the three realms into the demon realm. Ridiculous, foolish. Today, I understand that everything depends on myself. As soon as he finished speaking, the huge pearl suddenly broke through the sky. With a rumble, it shattered the void. In the next moment, the pearl descended, and an afterimage of the Beast Emperor appeared above it. He looked at the Spirit Emperor and smiled. Spirit, we've known each other for 33,000 years. Today, I must die. Give me some face and sever my son's Tao. Emperor Ling looked at him and frowned slightly. Spirit, 30,000 years ago, your tribe prayed for rain, and your father knelt to the heavens and earth. There was no rain, but I passed by and swept up the water of the celestial lake, causing it to rain for 3 days. Do you still remember this kindness? As soon as these words came out, Ling Huang's expression changed slightly. At this moment, a sigh sounded out once more. The Kuan Peng and the Heavenly would become emperors, condensing the Tao fruit of the monster race. The Spirit Emperor frowned. After a while, he said in a low voice, Dragon transformation. Heavenly would can also become a sovereign, condensing the demon race's Tao fruit. The sigh disappeared. In the next moment, Ling Huang struck out with his palm, shattering a blood vessel. He did not sever his Tao, but rather, he severed his control over his immortal source. Thank you. Loud laughter rang out. In the next moment, the huge pearl flew towards the human realm, towards dragon-changing sky. At this moment, dragon transformation was hovering in the air with a complicated look on his face. In the distance, a huge pearl flew over. On the pearl, the phantom of the Beast Emperor appeared and said with a smile, You are only a descendant of my blood essence, not a direct descendant. There is no need to remember my favor, no need to struggle to avenge me. I am just unwilling to hand the monster race over to the Kuan Peng. You are friends with the human race. The human race has martial kings, human kings, and suppression. You are more suitable to become the demon emperor than the Kuan Peng. The Kuan Peng is a coward. He established the demon court, but he is greedy for life and afraid of death. Even if the monster race is destroyed, he does not dare to make a sound. He has offended human kings and martial kings. The monster race will be destroyed in his hands sooner or later. Dragon transformation and becoming an emperor are responsibilities and shackles. Are you willing to put on the shackles of the monster race and the shackles of an emperor? Dragon transformation's expression became even more complicated. In the next moment, the dragon appeared and said in a low voice, I am willing to become an emperor. Ha! The Beast Emperor laughed. In the next moment, the pearl entered dragon transformation's body. There was a loud boom. Dragon transformation, which had broken 7 times, broke 3 times in succession. The first gate broke, the second gate broke, and the third gate broke. The huge pearl disappeared in an instant, completely losing its strength. On the 6th level, the Beast Emperor could no longer maintain his huge dragon body and shrunk a lot. However, he laughed and shouted, Everyone, can I help him again? Heavenly King Suppression frowned. Heavenly Hound was a little unwilling. However, Heavenly King Suppression said in a low voice, All right. Ha! The Beast Emperor laughed again and suddenly flew out of their control. He did not escape, but quickly flew towards the 3 gates. With a boom, he broke through one of the gates in the blink of an eye. Dragon transformation, become an emperor today. You will be the Dragon Emperor, not the Beast Emperor. I will guide you. With a loud roar, a huge dragon body suddenly extended from outside the door towards the dragon transformation outside the severed path. Rumble! The dragon body began to explode. A few starstones fell into dragon transformation's body. The Beast Emperor's huge head extended all the way forward. In the blink of an eye, it appeared under dragon transformation's feet, drenched in blood. Step on this path and break through the 3 gates. The monster race shall not be destroyed. The dragon race shall be the emperor. Dragon transformation turned into a dragon body. At this moment, on the huge dragon head, 2 huge eyes revealed an incomparably complicated expression. Stepping on the Beast Emperor's body, he would become an emperor. Roar! With a dragon roar, dragon transformation no longer hesitated. Dragon claws grabbed the huge dragon body, covered in blood, and quickly passed through the broken path. After a while, the Beast Emperor's body behind him exploded. When he reached the end of the broken path, with a loud boom, the Beast Emperor exploded. "Father," a barely audible murmur sounded. Dragon Transformation's expression was extremely complicated. "Haha, Kuan Peng, you want to become an emperor? In your next life." The Beast Emperor's laughter spread throughout the three realms. "A loser like you is not fit to become a demon emperor. Dream on. Even if I die, I will not let you achieve the Tao." Huh? Boom! With a loud explosion at this moment, a Tao fruit in the 6th level exploded. The sky changed color, and mournful music sounded. The Beast Emperor is dead. The three realms were pitch black. Countless monsters prostrated on the ground, crying out loud. The Beast Emperor was dead. "Send the Beast Emperor off." Kuan Peng suddenly roared and sent the Beast Emperor on his way. Am I a coward? Perhaps. But the billions of lives in the monster race had lost their greatest protection today. Chapter 1461. Asking for tickets. Old Eagle, who had a glorious ending, was really awesome. The #1 bestseller was coming to an end. Most importantly, couldn't they give me some monthly tickets? Countdown to the end of Global High Martial Arts. Double monthly tickets activated. Asking for tickets. Currently typing. Please wait a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. Chapter 1462. The Beast King fell, and the Dragon Transformation proved itself. The Dragon Transformation was taking shape in a deserted place. The heaven and earth were shaking, and the golden lotuses were blooming. The Beast King had become a sovereign realm warrior. In addition, the moment the Dragon Transformation took shape, the trembling 6th and 10th layers of heaven suddenly became much more stable. The 36 layers of heaven. The Beast King exclaimed, "I didn't expect that the Dragon Transformation would be the Beast King." Before he died, the Beast King thought of him. The Dragon Transformation was almost forgotten by everyone. But at the moment of his death, the Beast King thought of this forgotten descendant. It was a brilliant and wise choice. If the Beast King chose someone else, the humans would not agree. The heaven-subduing king and the others would not give him a chance. But he chose the Dragon Transformation, which led to the Beast King helping him. More importantly, the Dragon Transformation had disrupted some people's plans, including Emperor of Heaven Reverses, Emperor Gods, and even Heaven Emperors. It was not the Dragon Transformation that should be proven, but Heavenwood and Kuanping. The Beast King set them up before his death. "What you want, I will not give it to you. I will ruin your plans even at the cost of my life." The God Emperor didn't say anything. He just looked at Zhong Tian and said, "The Dragon Transformation is born from the fusion of the essence blood of a beast and the essence blood of a demon plant. Is his Tao the complete Demon Emperor Tao?" Even the Emperor God was curious. Was it? Probably not. Though the origin land was more stable, it was not at that level. This was not the result of opening up a new path. The Emperor of Heaven Reverse nodded and said with a smile, "The Beast King is the sovereign realm warrior after all. That demonic plant was not powerful. Therefore, the gap is still wide. The demonic plant is needed to prove itself." About Heavenwood, the Emperor of Heaven Reverse smiled. "I planned to let Kuanping and Heavenwood prove themselves. Therefore, I had some plans for them. But now, the plan was disrupted. It was not the Kuanping, but the Dragon Transformation. At this moment, if this continued, the humans would send reinforcements to the Dragon Transformation instead of killing the Kuanping as they expected. This was a huge problem. Let's not worry about Heavenwood for now. Proving the Tao now will only make the origin land more stable." Emperor of Heaven Reverse chose to give up. The previous plan was for the two of them to prove their Tao and fuse with the Demon Emperor's Tao fruit. The two of them would guard the same level of heaven. Naturally, there would be other plans after that. They would not let the Celestial Emperor take advantage of them. But now, he temporarily gave up on this idea. Beast King had been killed. At this moment, on the side of the fourth heaven, the forging god envoy had borrowed the Beast Emperor's Tao fruit to complete the suppression of his own crevice. The god creation envoy laughed out loud, retracted his pipe, and laughed wildly. I am free. Fong Ping, kid, asked the three emperors to come and pick me up. I'm leaving. I'm not going to play with them anymore. He had completed the suppression of the source ground. Now, he just had to run away with the Tao fruit. They could also leave through the door, but the Tao fruit couldn't run away. The Tao fruit could also run away through the path opened by the three emperors. Cut the crap. Let's go to the ninth heaven. The subduing heavenly king roared. What nonsense were they spouting? Run? Where can I run to? Go to the ninth heaven and work hard. On the other side, North King was being suppressed by Fong Ping and Old Zhang. However, if they wanted to kill North King, they might not be able to do so quickly. The god creation envoy chuckled. Without wasting any time, he began to cross the world and instantly entered the fifth heaven. Just as he crossed the world and descended into the fifth heaven, the subduing heavenly king's expression changed drastically as he roared, "Be careful!" What? Before the god creation envoy could finish speaking, in the fifth heaven, a thin sword suddenly pierced through the world and pierced into his body. Fast, accurate, ruthless. This sword seemed to have been prepared for a long time, waiting for him to descend to the fifth heaven. As for the master of the fifth heaven, everyone had almost forgotten about it. This was because the master of the fifth heaven was not at the origin, but was suppressing the sea of bitterness, Li Zhu. Therefore, before this, no one cared about the situation in the fifth heaven. However, the appearance of this sword shocked everyone. Someone was here. It was none other than Li Zhu. Li Zhu seemed to have returned a long time ago and had been hiding in the fifth heaven. This heaven was his own territory, and no one would be able to discover him, even if he hid here, unless he specifically looked for him. The god creation envoy was running towards the sixth heaven with a face full of excitement, who knew that he would suddenly be assassinated. The emperor had a mission, and Li Zhu's mission was to suppress the sea of bitterness. But he was back. He came back without a sound. Poochie! A muffled sound of metal piercing through flesh could be heard. Li Zhu had used all his strength to launch a surprise attack on the defenseless god creation envoy. The sixth heaven was where King Suppressing and the others were, and the fifth heaven was adjacent to the sixth heaven. After killing the Beast Emperor, when the others were about to go to the ninth heaven to help Fong Ping and the others, Li Zhu made his move. The god creation envoy's eyes widened, as if he could not believe it. The thin sword carried a destructive aura, and with a slight flick, it picked up a pocket-sized hammer. Li Zhu instantly caught it, and with a cold expression, he did not say anything and thrusted his sword out again. However, the god creation envoy's heart had been pierced by the sword just now. His power fluctuated unsteadily, and he was even somewhat unable to move. At this moment, the power that carried a destructive aura exploded in his body, and he watched helplessly as the sword pierced into his eyes. Boom! Inside his head, a sparkling and translucent crystal exploded. Boom! His entire body exploded. Li Zhu was indifferent as he swept his gaze in all directions. Holding the small hammer in his hand, he revealed a smile. The Tao fruit of the god, creation envoy. This fellow wanted to leave directly, but he had actually brought the Tao fruit with him. In addition, he was his ally in front of him. The fourth heaven was completely repaired, so he no longer needed to use the Tao fruit to suppress it. At this moment, it was Li Zhu's turn. Li Zhu! A roar, a furious roar, shook the world. Below, the king suppressing heaven and earth shattered with a punch. With a loud rumble, he charged into the fifth heaven. Li Zhu had actually ambushed the god creation envoy. At the moment of their great victory, he had killed the god creation envoy. Where did he get the guts to do so? No, how did he come back? The sea of bitterness still needed someone to suppress it. No one knew that Li Zhu had left. So how did he return to the fifth heaven without a sound? Li Zhu laughed. He did not care about the king suppressing heaven who was rushing over, and said softly, God creation envoy, a true genius, unfortunately. What the three realms needs is not a genius. You're courting death. The king suppressing heaven was furious. The god creation envoy was not completely dead yet, so it didn't matter if his body exploded. His Tao fruit was still there, but now that the Tao fruit was with Li Zhu, the god creation envoy could not even revive if he wanted to, unless he snatched the Tao fruit back. Why are you so angry, king suppressing heaven? Who in the three realms can escape this calamity? Li Zhu smiled faintly. In the next moment, a sword struck towards the little hammer. In the fifth heaven, a huge crack appeared. He wanted to break the god creation envoy's Tao fruit and repair his own crack. At this moment, a voice sounded out. Li Zhu, you want to betray me? The voice of the heavenly emperor. Li Zhu was indifferent and said with a chuckle, what betrayal? Lord Heavenly Emperor asked me to return and ambush the experts of the human race. Didn't I do it? As for the Tao fruit, this is Li Zhu's own harvest. If it is broken, then it is broken. Lord, aren't you wrongly accusing me of betrayal? Obviously, his return this time was caused by the Heavenly Emperor. Ambushing the experts of the human race did not allow him to shatter the Tao fruit. However, Li Zhu clearly did not care. At this moment, he chose to shatter the Tao fruit. The little hammer exploded with a boom. In front of him, King Suppressing Heaven's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. With a furious roar, he quickly broke through the void and charged towards Li Zhu. However, Li Zhu laughed. King Suppressing Heaven, I was only forced by someone, the mastermind was not me. Just as he said that, there was a loud boom. The world trembled, and a mechanical sound rang out. God Creation Envoy fall. Li Zhu laughed, and as he laughed, his expression suddenly changed. Three realms. When the sound of the God Creation Envoy's death came, many humans were shocked. However, the sky was not dark. No, the sky was originally dark. When the Beast Emperor fell, the sky turned dark, but when the Dragon Transformation Tao was proven, the sky became bright again. Now, there was only sound and no movement. In the Source Land, Li Zhu was also slightly shocked, and his expression changed drastically. The Tao fruit had been broken, and the world had reacted. But where was the power? Where was the power of the Tao fruit? Where was the power to repair the crack? At this moment, someone scolded, you want to ambush me? You want to eat a fart? Why don't you King ambush and kill old Ghostshin? If you can't, then go kill Fong Ping. Am I an idiot? Did the God Creation Envoy come for nothing? The number one fraud in the three realms. Pooey, did the number one blacksmith master come for nothing? He cursed. The voice was too close. Right above Li Zhu's head. At this moment, a huge pipe suddenly covered Li Zhu. In the next moment, the other end of the pipe was aimed at the crack in the fifth heaven. The God Creation Envoy appeared and scolded. What a huge loss. You actually killed my God Fraud avatar, the last one. And now it's gone. I have tens of thousands of years of savings. Not far away, King Suppressing Heaven was stunned. You're not dead? Nonsense. The God Creation Envoy scolded. You want me to die so badly? I have an immortal body, ever-changing, and a forgery expert. Since Fong Ping said that someone wanted to kill us this time, how could I not be careful? I just didn't expect that it was this bastard who plotted against me. He really did not expect that the one who ambushed him would be Li Zhu. Previously, he had suspected many people, but he really did not expect it to be Li Zhu, because this guy's strength was not considered strong. He had just proven his Tao, and he was still in the bitter sea, to be honest. He did not have any backing. The others might have some connections with the Emperor, but Li Zhu really did not. He didn't know when he had actually gotten involved with the Heavenly Emperor. Of course, in the end, when he saw that he had broken his Tao fruit, he did not seem to have completely listened to the Heavenly Emperor. He did not know if he had also gotten involved with the Divine Emperor and the others, or if it was his own idea. After cursing for a while, the God Creation Envoy was slightly stunned, and suddenly took the tube away. Li Zhu, who was previously covered, had disappeared. The God Creation Envoy was stunned. Where was he? He could even disappear into thin air? He had created a fake Tao fruit, a fake body, and even a fake voice. He wanted to take advantage of the moment when the enemy was distracted to kill him. Therefore, the moment he covered Li Zhu, he felt that Li Zhu was dead for sure. But now, where was he? Very quickly, he knew where he was. At this moment, the emperors who were rushing over from the 18th heaven suddenly had another person beside them. It was as if he had appeared out of thin air. Li Zhu. When Li Zhu came out, his face was a little pale. He bowed slightly to the person beside him and said tiredly, "Thank you, Emperor of Earth, for saving me." Emperor of Earth. At this moment, the Emperor of Earth laughed, glanced at Li Zhu, then looked at the ongoing battle in front of him, and said with a smile, "It's good that you're fine." The Emperor of Earth and Li Zhu. On the other side, the human emperor glanced at them, smiled, and said in a clear voice, "Brother Hong, you really trust King Li. You actually opened up a Tao fruit for King Li." Yes, the same origin. Not only were they of the same origin, they were of the same Tao. Both of them were emperors of the Earth realm. That was why Li Zhu was able to use the Tao fruit passage that the Emperor of Earth had opened up to help Li Zhu escape the calamity. The Emperor of Earth had also cultivated the great Tao of the Earth Emperor before, but he had fused it later on. At this moment, he actually trusted Li Zhu so much that he directly opened up the Tao fruit and allowed the other party to enter and exit. Beside the Emperor of Earth, Hong Kuen's eyes flickered. Even he did not know about this situation. Father was actually so close to Li Zhu. This was somewhat unexpected. However, the Emperor of Earth chuckled and said, "Kuen'er, what are you looking at? Your brother. The Earth realm belongs to my Hong family. How can we let others control it?" Hong Kuen. Brother? Hong Kuen's expression changed. How could I have a brother? Wasn't Hong Yu one? Why was there a Li Zhu as well? He was truly shocked. Not only him, but all the emperors of the three realms were probably shocked as well. The Emperor of Earth, however, did not care much. He chuckled and said, "I had nothing better to do, so I wandered the Earth realm and had a night of fun. Sigh. I thought that a sovereign Tao body could not have any descendants, but fate has it." Hong Kuen looked helpless. Your father did not want this either. But there was no other way. Even emperors could have descendants. There was nothing he could do. Hong Kuen was truly shocked. This meant that the Earth realm had always been under the control of his family. First, it was Hong Yu, then Li Zhu. These two had actually been controlling the Earth realm, and Li Zhu had even become an emperor because of this. Then, Hong Kuen quickly frowned. He could talk about the younger brother later. What he was frowning about now was why Li Zhu had been sent to kill the human cultivators. Wasn't this creating a strong enemy for them? At this moment, Li Zhu had recovered a little. As if he knew what Hong Kuen was going to say, he chuckled and said, "It's not that we want to kill them, but besides the humans, we want to kill them all." He was just going with the flow. Besides, without the Celestial Emperor, he would not be able to return to the place of origin. If he really killed the Weapon God Envoy, he could also leave the place of origin. At this moment, Hong Kuen did not say anything else. The others, on the other hand, were a little dazed. What had the old Emperor of Earth been doing all these years? His eldest son had become an emperor, and his youngest son had become an emperor. As for Hong Yu, he had disappeared after being rescued last time, as if he had been destroyed. But was he really destroyed? That planet with lives also had a lot of good stuff in it. Was Hong Yu going to become an emperor too? If that was the case, a sect with 4 emperors would be too terrifying. At this moment, in the 9th heaven, Fong Ping shouted coldly, "Emperor of Earth, you have a death wish." The Emperor of Earth had actually asked Li Zhu to ambush and kill the human powerhouses. He deserved to die. Emperor of Earth continued to rush toward the 9th heaven. Hearing Fong Ping's words, he laughed and said, "Fong Ping, Li Zhu is also following the orders of the Celestial Emperor. Without Li Zhu, there will be others. What's more, Zhao is still alive, right? It's better for Li Zhu to take action than others. Otherwise, Zhao might be dead." Fong Ping's face turned cold. He ignored him. Li Zhu was a member of Emperor of Earth's family. He was also a little shocked. Emperor of Earth had been wandering in the 3 realms all these years. He had a lot of backups and arrangements. Also, Celestial Terminus had told Fong Ping that Emperor of Heaven Reverse might have a close relationship with Earthly Emperor. This party was not weak. Emperor of Heaven Reverse, Earthly Emperor, Hong Kuan, Li Zhu, they might all be in cahoots. Emperor of God also had his own arrangements and backups. It was not without reason that Emperor of Heaven Reverse was among the 4 chess players in the 3 realms. In the past, when Emperor of Earth died and disappeared from the place of origin, it might have been arranged by Emperor of Heaven Reverse. Even when Emperor of Heaven Reverse broke into the origin, it was said that he was tricked by Emperor of Earth. However, Emperor of West said that Emperor of Heaven Reverse and Emperor of Earth might have acted together and entered the trap of their own accord. Li Zhu was the son of the earthly sovereign. Fong Ping was truly surprised. However, no matter what, these people were his enemies. Fong Ping snorted. Emperor of Earth, I thought you would be on my side. Now it seems that one of us will die sooner or later. Who was Li Zhu? The Lord of the Catacombs and the Lord of the Monster Plant's royal palace. Over the years, most of the murders of the human race were done by the powerhouses of the catacombs under Li Zhu's command. Fong Ping, I have saved you many times. Emperor of Earth laughed loudly. If I didn't save you in the divine sect, how could you have survived until now? If I didn't help you several times against the enemies, how could you have survived until now? The war between the earthly realm and the human world is not what you and I want. We just have to fight? Fong Ping was too lazy to answer. Hong Yu said that the seed of rebirth was in the human world, which caused the war between the human world and the catacombs. After that, Li Zhu led the catacombs' royal palace and had countless bloody battles with the human race in the outland. Emperor of Earth could get away with it by saying that it was not what you and I wanted. What was more, Emperor of Earth might not have good intentions. He had thought that Emperor of Earth might have the intention to ally with the human race. It seemed that this was not the case. Fong Ping ignored him. He swung his saber. North King's powerful arm was cut off. North King's face turned cold. The Beast King was dead. Now, the heaven-suppressing king and the others were almost there. This time, he might not be able to escape. But he was unwilling. Heaven Emperor, I am willing to hand over the fruit. At this moment, North King changed his mind. He was willing to hand over the fruit in exchange for his life today. Heaven Emperor must have something up his sleeves. Previously, that phantom might really be someone from the Sky Emperor's side. Among Hong, Hao, and Ji, one of them must be working with Heaven Emperor. Hong didn't think it was possible. He might be Heaven Emperor Reverse's partner. Then, between East King and Ren Huang, one of them should be Heaven Emperor's partner. Who was it? He didn't know. All he knew was that it would take some time for those people to arrive. But he could not hold on any longer. He only hoped that Heaven Emperor could find a way to stop them. This was the origin, Heaven Emperor's territory. Heaven Emperor could do it. Could Heaven Emperor save him? The next moment, Heaven Emperor responded. Fong Ping, Zhang Tao, killing Xian won't do you any good. As soon as the words fell, the heaven-suppressing king and the others who were on their way suddenly turned pale. Rumble! The world they were guarding suddenly trembled. The heaven-suppressing king and the others' energy was quickly suppressed and consumed. The origin was shaking. Heaven Emperor was shaking the origin. Fong Ping and Zhang Tao were fine. But the others, apart from the god-crafting envoy, were actually under the control of the origin. Heaven Emperor didn't know if he could control them directly. But now, the origin was shaking and they were affected. Tengu, go save Xian. At this time, Heaven Emperor's voice came again. Tengu. This dog was arranged by Heaven Emperor, and the Tao was still under the control of the origin. Tengu, who had arrived at the 8th heaven, was about to reach Fong Ping. Hearing this, he suddenly bared his teeth and roared, Save your ancestors. Let go of my Tao, and I'll go save them. Otherwise, stop dreaming. This was too much. How could he control his own Tao and say he was on the same side? Who would believe him? Tengu was arrogant and unruly. He didn't pay attention to Heaven Emperor at all. What's more, he was also Heaven Emperor. The other's Tao trembled, but Tengu did not. Obviously, Heaven Emperor was controlling it. Heaven Emperor was not angry. He laughed. In the next moment, a projection was projected. The projection's power was not too strong, but this projection was rushing towards Tengu. Tengu opened his mouth and was about to bite. However, the projection quickly vanished, and in the next moment, the heavenly hound roared, "How dare you invade my great Tao?" Its Tao was controlled by the origin, and at this moment, the Tao was invaded by someone. The projection of Heaven Emperor. "I'll borrow your body." Heaven Emperor's laughter came. Tengu had no choice but to be willing. This dog was raised by him. The Tao was still under control. Since Tengu was unwilling, then he would borrow Tengu's body to save Xian. It was not for Xian, but for Xian's Tao fruit. The Beast Emperor was dead, and the sixth heaven was shattering. If the North King died, the 10th heaven would be in chaos. Tengu roared violently and struggled, but the effect was not too good. This scene also terrified everyone who was controlled by the Tao, including Li Zhu. His Tao was also under control. He did not expect to be able to forcibly take over a body and invade the Tao. Was this considered possession? As for the earthly sovereign, he frowned slightly, but was not too worried. Seeing Li Zhu's uneasiness, the Earth Emperor smiled and said carelessly, "It doesn't matter. Your Tao is the Tao of the Earth Emperor, which overlaps with my Tao. You can't control me, so I can't control you." He really did not care too much. Although Li Zhu's Tao was also under control, if he wanted to, the earthly sovereign could break the restrictions of the origin. He had tampered with the origin himself. Why would he worry about this? He was not worried, but Tengu's roar shook the heavens. But it was useless. Tengu gradually felt that its body was no longer under its control. Even its Tao was disobedient. And at this moment, a cat suddenly appeared and jumped on Tengu's head. "Ash Cat, meow." Ash Cat meowed, as if to confirm whether Tengu was still alive. Tengu roared again, "Stupid cat, go away. This body is no longer under my control." At this moment, Tengu actually had the tendency to attack Ash Cat. Heaven Sovereign's voice came, "Ash Cat, this has nothing to do with you. Go and wait." Before he finished speaking, Ash Cat's cat world suddenly moved. The next moment, Tengu appeared in the cat world. In the cat world, the black swamp was still there. Ash Cat instantly moved Tengu to the vicinity of the black swamp. A kitten appeared and meowed. "Big dog self-destruct, it's fun." Tengu was stunned. "Damn it, stupid cat wants me to self-destruct? It's okay. If I die, the black swamp will appear at the origin. The origin will be invaded by the black swamp. Let's see if this big bad guy dares to do it." "Hurry," Ash Cat urged. Tengu also made up his mind. He really believed Ash Cat. Although his body was being controlled, self-destructing did not require much energy. It was hard to live, but it was easy to die. The next moment, Tengu's head turned ferocious. Then self-destruct. Boom! Just as chi and blood surged, Heaven's Sovereign laughed. "You cats and dogs, sigh." With a sigh, Heaven's Sovereign's aura suddenly disappeared. Tengu lost control and hurriedly roared. He ran away. "I don't want to die. Big cat, quickly suppress my chi," and blood surging. Halfway through self-destructing, Heaven's Sovereign ran away. "This bastard, he actually ran away irresponsibly after getting on me." But Ash Cat ignored him at this moment. At this moment, Ash Cat suddenly ran away. His real body ran away. He ran near the 3 gates, smashed them with a loud bang, and walked out of the origin. In the next moment, he broke through the sky from the source universe and instantly entered the 9 heavens. Spirit Emperor frowned slightly. Ash Cat ignored her and suddenly spat out a dog. Without saying anything, he sent Tengu flying with his tail towards Spirit Emperor and the immortal source. "Big Fatty is going to explode. If you don't save it, it will explode." Spirit Emperor frowned, while Tengu roared in horror. Save this Emperor, or else this Emperor will publicize the video of you bathing in the 3 realms. Spirit Emperor's face instantly turned ashen. In the next moment, Spirit Emperor took action. grabbing Tengu with one hand and Tengu's head with the other. With a loud bang, Tengu's head exploded, but the uncontrollable power in his body found an outlet. It instantly surged towards Spirit Emperor. Even if Tengu was not too strong, the self-destruction of an emperor made it difficult for Spirit Emperor. At this moment, a cat instantly appeared in front of the immortal source as if it had teleported. Pucci, with a sweep of its tail, a huge great Tao was broken. Then, Ash Cat instantly ran away without looking back. As for Tengu, I don't want it anymore. This cat has already helped you break the control of the Great Tao. As for Big Fatty, he probably won't kill you, right? I don't know. Big Dog, you better pray for yourself. If you speak nicely, you probably won't be killed, right? Ash Cat ran very quickly. Spirit Emperor grabbed Tengu's head, and his expression changed slightly. He snorted lightly and ignored Ash Cat. His jade-like hand clenched into a fist and punched again. Boom! Tengu's head exploded again. Tengu was about to go crazy. You! Don't force this Emperor. Boom! Just as his head grew out, it was blown up again. Spirit Emperor said coldly, "To save you, lest your blood and chi explode and self-destruct." Even though he said that punch after punch, the dog's head was blown up more than 10 times in a row. Later on, Tengu decided not to recover, but if it didn't recover its head, Spirit Emperor wouldn't let it go. He beat its body until it exploded, and countless golden fur fell off. In the end, he kicked Tengu away like he was kicking a dead dog. It wasn't like kicking a dead dog, it was a real dead dog. Tengu was almost completely blown up. His body was badly mutilated, and he disappeared with a single kick. Between heaven and earth, there was only the powerless and furious roars of the Tengu. This emperor will return. Tengu was heavily injured, but it was no longer under the control of the heavenly emperor. The Great Tao was also broken by the Ash Cat, and it was no longer under the control of the immortal source. Spirit Emperor didn't even look in the direction where Tengu disappeared. His expression was cold as he raised his head to look at the 9 heavens. The Origin War was still going on. As for the North Emperor, he really couldn't hold on any longer. Tengu's rescue failed, and Li Zhu's attack on the God Creation envoy failed. At this moment, the North Emperor had nowhere to run. Fong Ping looked at the North King's frenzied look and saw him suddenly burning up. His expression changed slightly, and he shouted, "Let's go." He did not stay any longer. Zhang Ta didn't waste any time and quickly flew towards the 8th heaven. The North Emperor did not flee. The only reason Fong Ping dared to leave was because this crazy guy had actually ignited his Dao fruit at this moment. The North Emperor laughed heartily. Overlooking the source, he no longer paid attention to Fong Ping and the others. Looking at the earthly sovereign and the others who were not too far away from him, the North Emperor's gaze swept past them. Very quickly, he looked even further down. Heavenly Emperor Cheongdo. The North Emperor had a smile on his face as he said, "Continue fighting. Don't die too early. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see that great show." Cheong, aren't you afraid of fighting with me? Are you worried that you won't be able to match the Celestial Arch even if you join forces? Today, I will help you to weaken his strength, so that you will have the guts to find him. I really want to see the day when you fight to the death. It's a pity. I won't be able to see it. Ha ha ha. He seemed to have understood something. The Emperor God and the Emperor of Heaven Reverse were afraid of the Heaven Emperor. Therefore, even though they had always wanted to fight the Heaven Emperor, they dared not to take any action. Now they saw their chance. The Tao fruits of the sovereigns were broken, and the source was in turmoil. Now, the 7th and 6th heaven needed to be suppressed by powerful warriors. Today, he blew up the 9th heaven, and there was no one to suppress the 10th heaven. For heavens were broken. He would like to see if the Emperor God and the others still dared to do anything at that time. In the 3 realms, there are no monarchs, only prisoners. A shout shook the 3 realms. What happened next shocked the entire 3 realms. Boom! It was daybreak. Bright. Between heaven and earth. At this moment, There was only a huge ball of light rising. It even eclipsed the source of the deity, as if the sun was exploding, buzzing. The three realms were shaken. The world was turned upside down. Countless warriors began to suppress the earth and the firmament. Rumble. At this moment, a large number of walls were broken. The passageways connecting the underground cavern and the human world were shaken. Many passageways began to crack. The walls between the celestial beings and the human world were cracking. There were 9 heavens in the 3 realms. The source of the 3 realms had 36 heavens. Today, in the 9 heavens of the 3 realms, space cracked. Rumble. The first heaven, the second heaven, and the third heaven collapsed at this moment. From now on, there would only be 6 heavens in the 3 realms, not 9. Turbulence. Tremors. Volcanoes erupted. The world was turned upside down, and the sea of bitterness roared. At this moment, the sea of bitterness once again invaded the 3 realms. The sea water surged and the waves reached the sky. Self-destruction? Yes, self-destruction. So far, this was the most powerful warrior to die in the 3 realms, and he died from self-destruction. Emperor North was much more powerful than the Beast King and Emperor Nan. At this moment, he blew himself up with the Tao fruits. The power was appalling. At the source of the land, the 9th heaven collapsed. There was no one in this heaven. At this moment, there was still a huge crack that pierced through the 9th heaven. Then the 9th heaven collapsed, and in the 10th heaven, there was also a huge crack. The 2 cracks were connected. The 2 worlds fused together, creating an even bigger crack that swept through the 11th and 8th heaven. F***ck. At this moment, someone cursed. Unexpectedly, it was not one of the powerful warriors who participated in the battle, but Emperor West's voice. Emperor West's voice came from afar. He roared, "Are you crazy? Do you want to destroy the 8th heaven? Hurry up and suppress it. My Tao fruits are still there. Don't force me. If you don't suppress it, I'll blow up the 8th and 7th heaven too." Emperor West was exasperated. Disaster fell from the sky. If the 8th heaven exploded, even if he escaped from the source of the land, he would still be finished if his Tao fruits were destroyed. Moreover, he did not want to be finished just like that. It was too unjust. Xian death was fine. Why did he have to self-destruct? Self-destruction was fine, but why was it so powerful? Couldn't it have been better to self-destruct at the 10th heaven? Why did he have to go to the 9th heaven to self-destruct? Wasn't he implicating himself? It was too shameful. Emperor North has fallen. The robotic voice sounded again. The 3 realms first lit up, then fell into boundless darkness. Even the celestial source could not light up the 3 realms. Today, the second emperor had fallen. 9 ancient emperors. In a short period of time, 3 had died in succession. Sea region. On a mountain in the middle of the sea, huge waves crashed. Moon Spirit did not care. He looked up at the sky, expressionless, and did not speak. Emperor North was dead. Perhaps he was free. 8,000 years ago, when an emperor became a prisoner, his father's heart had probably died. Perhaps he knew that he could not escape this calamity. That was why the North Emperor blade flew back that day. Today, the one who died was the prisoner Emperor North, not his father. But why did he still feel some uncontrollable sadness? Moon Spirit looked up at the dark sky, at the explosion of light in the darkness. He did not speak. Emperor North did not help someone before his death like the Beast Emperor, because he said that emperors were just prisoners. Since that was the case, he was already dead. Why create another prisoner? Origin. 2 heavens shattered. The huge origin began to shake violently. Sky battle. At this moment, someone shouted. His voice shook the origin. Emperor God and Emperor of Heaven Reverse said nothing. It was Heaven Emperor's voice. Heaven Emperor smiled. "You too. Are you sure you don't want to protect the origin?" Still no reply. "Huh." A chuckle was heard. The next second, a surge of energy spread out. Boom! The 9th and 10th heavens merged together. The huge crack was crashing against the entire origin. At this moment, a surge of energy swept across. With a boom, The world quieted down. 2 heavens were suppressed. In addition, a surge of energy erupted from the 6th heavens as well, suppressing the 6th heavens. At this moment, Heaven Emperor was appallingly powerful. He was suppressing 3 places alone. Not only that, but also Spirit Sovereign's world. Emperor God and Emperor of Heaven Reverse said nothing. The 8th heavens. Fong Ping frowned and sneered. Retard! He was mocking them. As for who he was mocking, no one knew. Old Zhang frowned as well. Since Heaven Emperor still has the energy to suppress these places, why did not save them? Fong Ping did not care. He sneered. Those 2 did not come to save them when they are not dead. Now that they are dead, those 2 are eager for him to exert more energy. How did you become a minister if you don't even know this? Old Zhang was speechless. Am I curious about this? I'm just curious. He knows that those 2 are trying to weaken him. Why doesn't he do it now and just fight with them? Why does he have to wait for them to weaken him? Fong Ping transmitted his voice. Are you stupid? The celestial source is not mature yet. He probably can't seal off the entire origin. What if those 2 run away? Can't he just bear with it and catch them all at once? The point is, those 2 probably know what he's going to do. They're guarding against him now. Can he really let the celestial source mature? Fong Ping shrugged. How would he know what Heaven Emperor was thinking? The point was that Heaven Emperor could endure it. Even at this point, even when he knew that Emperor of Heaven Reverse was weakening him, he still endured it. The 10,000-year-old tortoise lived up to his name. The world quieted down. Heavens and earth were suppressed. The origin was no longer shaken. But there were 2 less sovereigns. The 12th heaven, one powerhouse after another walked in the air. Their shadows were projected and reflected in all directions. East Emperor, Earthly Emperor, Human Emperor, Hong Kuan, Li Zhu, Qin Fengqin. These people looked at each other across the air. They looked at Fong Ping and the others and did not continue forward. On Fong Ping's side, very soon, Book Fragrance Cat, Heavenly King Subduing, and God Creation Envoy arrived. Not long after, a battered and exhausted big dog also came over. His aura was dispirited, but he raised his head proudly. The Emperor was back. Although he was seriously injured, his Tao was out of control. Awesome! There was still one sovereign who did not move. Dragon Transformation. This newly proven sovereign was under the 18th heaven at this time. He did not rush over. Now that he had arrived, it was hard to say who he would help now. Other than Spirit Emperor, who was in the Celestial Source, and West Emperor, who was hiding, at this moment, all the sovereign powerhouses of the 3 realms were here. God Creation Envoy was too lazy to care about them. At this moment, he smiled happily and said, Fong Ping, let those guys open up the Tao and let me go first. How about that? Fong Ping was speechless. He turned to look at him and said quickly, Previously, I thought you were really dead. Sure enough, the Scourge lived for a long time. God Creation Envoy could not be bothered with him. Fong Ping smiled and said, Is there any way to destroy the 8th heaven as well? The West Emperor's Tao fruit is here, and this guy is not here. It's better to destroy his origin, and maybe the Tao fruit will be destroyed as well. God Creation Envoy was speechless. How could it be that simple? Unless it's like the North Emperor and blew up the 8th heaven. Then let's go. After saying that, Fong Ping was about to move. Old Zhang gave him a look and was a little speechless. Why did you want to destroy the West Emperor's Tao fruit for no reason? Fong Ping said playfully, then forget it. Let's go to the 5th heaven and destroy the origin of Li Zhu. As soon as he said that, the God Creation Envoy's eyes lit up. He quickly broke through the barrier of heaven and earth and laughed loudly. Let's go. I was just about to do this. Let that guy dare to sneak an attack on me. Old Zhang also chuckled. The few of them did not waste any time and quickly flew towards the 5th heaven. Li Zhu looked at the Earth Emperor. He heard the sound. These people did not hide it and deliberately said it for him to hear. The 5th heaven was where his Tao fruit was. He did not move the Tao fruit. Once it was really destroyed, even if the Tao fruit was hidden very deeply, it would still be found. Normally, no one would do this. But at this point today, would these people have any scruples? But the Emperor of Earth was not in a hurry. Looking at those people flying toward the fifth heaven, he smiled and said softly, "It's okay. We have a lot of emperors in our family. If we kill you, our Hong family will fight them to the death. How many people will die? If so many people die, their Dao fruit will explode. Even the Celestial Emperor can't bear it, right?" As soon as he said that, sure enough, at this moment, in the sixth heaven, a force suddenly swept through heaven and earth. The Celestial Emperor's voice sounded again. "That's enough for today. Enough!" Last time, after killing Emperor Nan, the Celestial Emperor and the others came out and said that it was enough and that they could call a truce. It was as if to them, this was just a game. Both sides threw in their chess pieces. If they died, they died. It was almost over. Rest and recuperate, waiting for the next battle. Fong Ping sneered and blasted the heaven and earth with a punch. He did not care about him at all and directly broke through to the fifth heaven. Old Zhang and the others looked at Fong Ping and frowned slightly. Should they not retreat? The other powerhouses had not made a move yet, and those who were still alive were all powerful. Apart from Hong Kuan and the others were all powerhouses with combat strengths over 100 million. At this time, a stalemate at the source would not help much. The 36th heaven. The God Emperor suddenly asked, "What has Hong been doing all these years?" The Heaven Emperor chuckled. "Who knows? Don't look at me like that. I did have a good relationship with him in the past, and we even cooperated. But someone like Hong will not risk his life for you and me. It's just cooperation. Who knows what he is thinking?" At the level of the earthly emperor and the others, there was no such thing as risking their lives. They all had their own purposes. The Heaven Emperor did not know about Li Zhu either. He really did not. If it were not for the fact that Li Zhu was almost killed today, he would not know that Li Zhu was the son of the earthly emperor. The God Emperor frowned. Hong has no reason to make Fong Ping his enemy. Why? The earthly emperor was smart. The earthly emperor was domineering, unruly, and arrogant. But that did not mean he was not smart. The earthly emperor today seemed to be kind, but in fact, he was more subtle and knew how to disguise himself. It was impossible for the earthly emperor to change his temperament. Why would such a smart person ask Li Zhu to ambush the god-crafting messenger? Was it good for him? Probably not. Even if he really killed the god-crafting messenger and destroyed his fruit of path, Li Zhu would still not be able to get out. Wasn't he afraid that Fong Ping and the others would get angry and take care of the earthly emperor and Hong Kuan? The God Emperor suddenly smiled. This game was getting more and more interesting. Everyone wanted to be this chess player. Even if they were chess pieces, they were not willing to be chess pieces all the time. They were all planning something. But this was good. This was where the fun was. Otherwise, wouldn't it be boring to determine the result early on? The God Emperor exhaled. The beast is gone, so is Xian. There are fewer and fewer old guys left. This game is almost over. Game. Maybe that was the case. On the day the origin appeared, the powerhouses of the three realms were used as chess pieces. They were trapped for 10,000 years. Life and death, in their eyes, was indeed a game. It was not that complicated. Who would be the final winner? Maybe none of them. So, what if the Heaven Emperor won? So what if they won? It was just that they were a little unwilling and unwilling. This game that had lasted for 30,000 years didn't end well for them. Emperor Celestial reverse laughed. The little guys are passionate and energetic. These people remind me of Jean and them back then. Emperor Celestial reverse laughed. Is it really possible to break this cage by combining the three Daos? The God Emperor shook his head. How would you know without trying? Your energy Dao, if you did not enter the origin, there might be hope. Emperor Celestial reverse laughed. It's not that simple. It's too obvious. That person is guarding against me. The three little guys are fine. At first, that guy did not care. Later, when he did, it was too late. He's been watching me all this time. I will not enter the origin. I am not young. I am not as strong as him. I cannot escape from his pursuit. I cannot escape from the seeds. Emperor Celestial reverse could not help but exclaim, Jean, that kid is beyond my expectation. The power of his great Tao seems to have been drawn away by him, including Mie and Ironhead. They seem to have lost a lot of power. The source of Fong Ping's energy should be from them. The God Emperor picked up his teacup. This kid is good at choosing his successor. Fong Ping is quite similar to him when he was young. Emperor Celestial Reverse laughed. I don't think so. When Jean was young, he was quite well behaved. You are not his teacher. You don't know this. When Jean was young, he was also rebellious. He was hot-blooded and impulsive. The real change was when he broke through the origin ground. He must have realized our scheme, and his heart turned cold. Emperor Celestial Reverse heaved a sigh. Back then, I just wanted to test it out. I didn't expect that the three of them would reach that step, and Jean would go even further. If I had known this and told him the truth, maybe this wouldn't have happened. The Divine Emperor also seemed a bit regretful. When he died, he looked at me and smiled happily. I knew that he knew everything. Even if I told him the truth, he would not work with us. The God Emperor added, but he didn't want us to be happy. Before he came, he had taken away a lot of Tao energy. I don't know what to say about him. Emperor Celestial Reverse looked at the God Emperor, speechless. After a while, Emperor Celestial Reverse said, he was too outstanding. He was beyond our expectation and Celestial Emperors. He died because he knew he had to die. That day, Mie and Ironhead wanted to help, but the Heavenly Hound got in their way. Wasn't that guy's doing? Emperor Celestial Reverse chuckled. He was afraid too. He was afraid that Jean would break the origin ground. Alas, what a shame. The God Emperor was in a trance. Soon he smiled. He didn't gain any advantage. If it weren't for Jean, we wouldn't have it so easy. Emperor Celestial Reverse nodded. Speaking of schemes, Jean was not bad. That year, he repaired most of the cracks on your origin ground and freed you from some control. He did it on purpose, didn't he? Before Jean died, he cultivated his origin and suppressed his sufferings. The origin he cultivated was not Celestial Emperors. It was the origin of his three teachers, East Sovereign, God Emperor, and Human Sovereign. Thus, Jean broke Celestial Emperor's control. Jean returned the favor to his three teachers, broke Celestial Emperor's control, saved the system, and suppressed the sea of sufferings. Now that they thought about it, they were in a trance. Who could have known that a casual move could produce such a stunning result? The Emperor of Heaven Reverse stopped thinking about this. Jean and Hong were close. Back then, Jean deliberately died in front of Hong. I always felt that Jean and Hong had said something. Do you think Hong is another chess piece left by Jean? I don't know. Emperor, Celestial Emperor, shook his head. It was hard to say, and he didn't want to guess either. None of the 9 sovereigns and 4 emperors were simple. Jean had died for many years. Now many tricks were being played. Both Emperor Celestial Emperor and Emperor Celestial Emperor were troubled. As for the appearance of Jean and the others, their strength, and their final choice, Emperor Celestial Emperor didn't expect it either. Emperor Celestial Emperor just wanted to find a way out. He didn't expect that these people would be so powerful and talented. Emperor Celestial Emperor exhaled again. The past was the past. He didn't want to dwell on it. Looking at the chessboard in front of him, Emperor Celestial Emperor was distracted. He was not like this in the past. Unfortunately, there was no going back. Emperor Celestial Emperor. Emperor Celestial Emperor sneered. If it weren't for this guy, he wouldn't have come this far. 30,000 years ago, on the day he fell into the trap, Cheong sensed something was wrong. It was not that Emperor Celestial Emperor's intention was too obvious, but he really didn't kill Einherjar. Emperor Celestial Emperor defeated Einherjar. Emperor Celestial Emperor sneered. He and Einherjar were close. That day, they were just practicing. As a result, some of Einherjar's energy leaked out. Emperor Celestial Emperor sensed that the broken path could be continued. Einherjar was curious as well. He volunteered to help. Though he lost a lot of energy, it was not fatal. Before he left, Einherjar was still able to fight. He died not long after he went back. The injury was too serious. Others might not know, but Cheong did. Einherjar was assassinated. Who killed him? Plus, On that day, Celestial Emperor absorbed a large amount of energy and entered the origin. Then, How killed God of Swords all of a sudden. It was even more unexpected. God of Swords died as well. Both of them were dead. Outsiders might not know, but how could they not know? Neither of them wanted to kill the other two, but they died anyway. The martial god had been assassinated. Xiong did not have any evidence, so he could not make any conclusions. However, the sword god had been killed in front of many people. That day, Hao had said that it was just a spar, and that he did not kill him. However, no one believed it because the sword god had been killed in the process of his battle. He had died. Who in the three realms possessed such ability? There was a touch of ridicule in the divine emperor's eyes. In addition to that person, there was also the young god. But at that time, the young god was focused on chasing after the seed, so he had no time to care about these things. It went without saying who it was. When Sword God and Martial God died, he understood at that time. As he thought about this, the divine emperor suddenly frowned. These fellows are still not leaving? Do you really want to fight with Hong and the rest? While they were chatting, Fong Ping and the others did not leave. It seemed like he was really going to break the fifth layer of heaven. The divine emperor was a little puzzled. Was he tired of living? Do you really think the heavenly emperor will let you continue killing? What's more, are you a match for Hong? Chapter 1464. Fong Ping had not left even after slaughtering 2 emperors in a row. Instead, he continued on to the 5th layer of heaven. To be honest, this was beyond old Zhang and the others' expectations. According to what they said before, they should have left after killing the 2 of them. Fong Ping, was he really going to continue killing? If he continued to kill, who else could he kill? Apart from Hong Kuan and Li Zhu, the rest were either his own people or peerless experts with combat power over 100 million. Could he kill them? Even though they had killed 2 human emperors, they didn't gain much from it. Other than the God Creation Envoy, who got rid of the crack, no one else did. It was probably the same for the others. Even if he killed it, he might not be able to keep the Dao fruit. What was Fong Ping thinking? Fong Ping advanced all the way, breaking open heaven and earth. Soon, he entered the 5th heaven. The others also entered one after another. A group of people charged over. Behind them, Li Zhu slightly frowned. What was Fong Ping thinking? He was not considered strong, at least to Fong Ping, and he did not really kill the God-crafting envoy. Was there a need for Fong Ping to offend them for this? The attitude of the earthly sovereign was also very clear. You guys fight your own battles, and we'll watch our own battles. It doesn't matter. What happened before was just a misunderstanding. If they really fought now, could Fong Ping and the others win? The 5th heaven. Fong Ping was not in a hurry to destroy this piece of heaven and earth. He looked down at the emperors who were chasing after him, his eyes flickering. East Emperor, Earthly Emperor, Human Emperor, Hong Kuan, Li Zhu, and Qin Fengqing. On their side, Fong Ping, Martial King, Heavenly King Garrison, Divine Envoy, Scholarly, Heavenly Hound, and Grey Cat were even more numerous. Of course, combat strength did not depend on the number of people. Over there, 3 of them had broken through 100 million. Fong Ping floated in the air, saying indifferently, nowadays more and more people are dying, and there are fewer and fewer emperors. There's no need to scheme anymore. I'm just a little curious and have some doubts. I wonder if everyone can dispel them for me? Emperor Dong Huang walked in the air. He smiled and said, "What do you want to ask? It's simple. Are the few of you traveling alone, or are you working with someone?" Fong Ping said calmly, "At this point, my attitude toward the emperors of the 3 realms is still a little unclear. Can everyone help me clear up my doubts? Those who stood in our way are all dead, and Emperor, she who didn't die, is now hiding somewhere. The rest of them have a clear attitude. I don't know what you guys want to do." Dong Huang smiled and said, "Is it important? Didn't you say you were going to kill all of them? Then we'll just kill them all. That way, we won't have to worry about these things, right?" Dong Huang is right. Fong Ping chuckled. "But I'm still a little curious. The others, including Do and the Emperor God, I know that they've joined forces to fight against the Celestial Emperor, but you three old fellows. To be honest, I don't know whose side you're on. His attitude was so vague that it was impossible to tell. I couldn't help but be curious. Before you die, I want to get to the bottom of this so that it doesn't become one of the great unsolved cases of the three realms. The few of them could not help but laugh. Dong Wang said softly, "We're all living for ourselves. There's no such thing as standing on anyone's side. You new martial artists say that you seek survival, but so do we. We're all seeking survival and struggling. Whoever survives this tribulation will be free." Dong Wang felt a little emotional. He looked at Fong Ping and chuckled. Qiong and Do joined forces because the Celestial Emperor is too powerful. They had no choice but to join forces to resist the Celestial Emperor. As for us, Dong Wang smiled and said, "I'm just forcing myself to stick together, lest we all become scapegoats." "You're in cahoots?" Fong Ping raised an eyebrow. "There are people from the Celestial Emperor among you, right?" Dong Wang laughed. "You mean the people who persuaded Xian to hand over the Dao fruit?" "Huh." Fong Ping was stunned. "How straightforward." Dong Wang laughed. "It's my projection. I'm considered one of the Celestial Emperor's people, right?" "Maybe." Dong Wang chuckled. "I have some cooperation with Seed. I'm the middleman between Seed and the Celestial Emperor. Therefore, on Xian's side, I'll hand over the Dao fruit if he can. If he doesn't, I won't lose anything. Consider it as fulfilling some promises. Of course, it doesn't stop us from huddling together. They have their way of living, and we have ours too." Dong Wang said it too straightforwardly. He had even self-destructed. Dong Wang did not care. Emperor Renhuang did not care. An earthly sovereign did not care. Emperor Renhuang chuckled. "In this three realms, among the emperors, who hasn't worked with Seed before? Everyone just pretended to be confused. Those who were really confused were all dead. Those who weren't were too lazy to point it out. Celestial Emperor thought that it was a secret that Seed worked with him. But that guy, the Seed, told everyone it saw. It said that it worked with Celestial Emperor and asked us if we wanted to work with it because it doesn't like Celestial Emperor. Celestial Emperor is too strong, too gloomy, too ambitious, and hard to control." Emperor Renhuang laughed. "We've probably heard this before. It's fine if we just listen to it. Can we really take it to heart?" Fong Ping was stunned. Emperor Renhuang laughed again. "In the eyes of Seed, it doesn't matter who lives to the end, so it doesn't necessarily want Celestial Emperor to live. Whoever lives or dies, it doesn't really lose anything. If Cheong Hedu can kill Celestial Emperor, then the Seed won't think anything is wrong. I've said that to it, one death is one less. The Seed's ultimate goal is to take back all the power bestowed by the three realms. Everyone knows this." Fong Ping frowned. He did not expect these people to pretend to be confused. Of course, there were some who were really confused, but those who were really confused were all dead. There was also that old guy Yang Shun. This old guy was probably not confused. He was just too lazy to talk nonsense with the Seed. Every time they met, they would probably start fighting. The Seed also thought that this guy was hard to deal with, so it ignored him and kept running around with him. Fong Ping was indeed a little surprised that Emperor Renhuang said this, but he still frowned slightly. "If we destroy the human race, the Seed will lose its intelligence. It will be in danger too. Isn't it worried that you guys will join forces to deal with it first?" The Seed was stirring up trouble everywhere. These guys all knew that. Why didn't they join forces to destroy the human race first? Fong Ping could not figure this out either. That's easy to say. Destroy the human race and harvest the Seed. Emperor Renhuang suddenly laughed. The others laughed too. They all looked at Fong Ping as if they were looking at an idiot. Fong Ping's expression was dark. Emperor Dong Wang chuckled. "Fong Ping, do you know why we don't destroy the human race? Do you know why, even though we know that the Seed is stirring up trouble, we still kill each other? We can't wait to kill everyone else, to be the last survivor." Emperor Dong Wang chuckled. "Including the Celestial Emperor. He said that he created the Celestial Source to destroy the human race and capture the Seed, but we know what he wants to do. The Seed is secondary. Killing us, killing everyone in the three realms is actually the key. Fong Ping seemed to have grasped a clue, but he was a little dazed and did not quite understand. Seeing that he did not understand, Emperor Renhuang continued, Fong Ping, actually, no one is lying to you. If we destroy the human race, the seed will really lose its intelligence. But the seed is not afraid. Fong Ping continued to frown. You, Emperor Renhuang sighed. You are blinded by a single leaf. The human race? The human race? Emperor Renhuang laughed helplessly. The human race, do you understand now? The human race in the three realms is not just a small group like you. It's not just the neo-martial artists. Aren't we humans? Boom! Fong Ping really understood this time. His face was full of shock. Emperor Renhuang laughed. Do you understand now? So, destroying the human race, destroying the seed's intelligence, and capturing the seed are just fishing for the moon in the water. They are just saying it to yourself to comfort yourself. The human race? So are we. So are we. As soon as these words came out, Fong Ping completely understood this time. The seed was not afraid at all. The human race was not only in the human world. Chu Wu was a human, the emperor was also a human, and Heavenly Emperor Yangshun was also a human. You want to destroy the human race? Kill who? Kill all of them. This was the destruction of the human race, the destruction of the seed's intelligence. So, from the beginning, these emperors knew all this and did not have any ideas on the seed. It was not realistic. It was too contradictory. If the human race was destroyed, the seed would lose its intelligence. But if the human race was destroyed, what was left of the three realms? The demon race? Let the demon race become the master of the three realms again? But the human race of the three realms was a mortal ray. The seed was intelligent and extremely powerful. You could not do anything to it at all. It had nothing to fear. Fong Ping's expression changed. Emperor Renhuang laughed. So, we are only seeking survival and survival. We can't attack the seed, repair the source, or destroy the source. It depends on each person's means. Who dies and who lives, it depends on the means. I'm afraid there is no way to completely solve the problem of the source. We can only live by sowing and patching. Heavenly Emperor wants to destroy us, and we want to stuff Heavenly Emperor into the source to mend the hole. The earthly sovereign said with a smile, everyone has the same idea. If we kill one, there will be one less. With one less, there will be less competition, less pressure, and more hope for survival. At this moment, Emperor Renhuang was like the old man next door, smiling brightly. Whoever dies, it's a good thing for others. If Cheonghe dies, it's not bad to mend the source. If Heavenly Emperor dies, it can also mend it. If we die, it's the same. Of course, don't let the Tao fruit explode. If it explodes, it will benefit the seed and it will recover the power. Of course, it's also a good thing if it explodes. It can suppress Heavenly Emperor. He's too strong. We can't beat him. If this goes on, we will be the ones to die sooner or later. Emperor Renhuang was too lazy to play dumb. He laughed. So, what you said about who is on the same side is not accurate. If there is a chance, I hope Jihao dies too. Mend the source and see if we can make do for tens of thousands of years. After tens of thousands of years, our lifespan may reach the end, and we don't care about this anymore. The seed is actually not in a hurry. If you don't die now, you'll die sooner or later. It's also a good thing if you all die. But we live for a long time. This guy is probably a little impatient. He keeps provoking us to kill each other. Emperor Renhuang smiled. Do you understand now? Fong Ping frowned and said coldly. So, you're happy to see me kill some people? Sort of. Emperor Renhuang laughed. It's not a loss either way. Killing one is one less. It's a good thing to explode the Tao fruit. It can suppress Heavenly Emperor. It's also a good thing not to explode. It can mend the source. It's a good thing either way. So it's better to send them on their way. Emperor Renhuang said and sighed. It's just a game, the seeds game. But everyone has to take it seriously. If you don't take it seriously, then you'll be like those beginners. You have to fall into the trap whether you want to or not. Otherwise, you'll die early. Emperor Renhuang said and laughed again. Do you hear that sound? The Beast Emperor has fallen. The North Emperor has fallen. It's idle, so it's not bad to watch a show. You know it's watching a show, but what can you do? Emperor Renhuang said lazily. So, in the end, I can only accept my fate. If there's really a ruthless person who destroys the three realms and finally commits suicide, so that the seed will completely become a fellow without spiritual intelligence, then it can be solved. These words made Fong Ping's face turn ugly. Heavenly King Jun and the others also looked at each other, their faces solemn. Exterminating the human race. This human race actually included these ancient powerhouses. No wonder these guys were not interested in exterminating the human race and capturing the seed. Instead, they were more interested in internal strife. Previously, they thought that the Sun God and Heavenly King Jun were in the human world, so these people did not dare. However, they had already reached the point of killing each other, to the point where they could not wait to kill everyone. Were they really afraid of the Sun God and the others? Exterminating the human race. All the human race, whether you were the ancient human race or the current human race. Emperor Donghuang said faintly, the human race is too broad. Therefore, in the past, some people did not even want to be human. They would rather be immortals or gods. But so what if they changed their names? The Earth realm was actually a test subject. They wanted to experiment and modify the human race to see if they could avoid this. As Emperor Donghuang spoke, he shook his head and said, in the end, yes, the human race in the Earth realm is different from the human race in the human world. But in reality, there are still some who can't escape the control of the seed. At this point, what else can we do? Emperor Donghuang smiled and said, there's no other way. We can only put the solution on the source land, solve the problem of the source land, restore peace to the three realms, and let the source land last a little longer. Fong Ping's expression was solemn. If that's the case, the wisdom of the seed can't be destroyed and you guys can't escape. Then why not be more peaceful and calmly accept the arrival of the end of your lifespan? Emperor Donghuang chuckled and said, you said it yourself. There's no escape, no solution, so naturally it's better to live happily. Now, everyone is scheming against each other. I can't wait to kill you today to make up for it, and the day after tomorrow to make up for it. How can there be peace? Moreover, the source's flaws are getting more and more serious. 10,000 years ago, it reached its peak, and we have completely become prisoners. 30,000 years ago, it was still okay. We could still move around outside for a while. Later, even our real bodies can't go out. Clones, no matter how real a clone is, it's just a clone. You don't even have the right to see this world. Are you willing to do that? Wait for the end of my lifespan? Emperor Donghuang shook his head and sighed. Don't you see the sea of misery? If you don't fix the loopholes will get bigger and bigger. Who gave you the chance to wait for the end of your lifespan? Even if you were given the chance, would you be willing to be a prisoner for the rest of your life? And the kind where you can't even take a breather. That's too frustrating. You might as well find a way to kill the others and go out and enjoy yourself for a while. Even if I'm destroyed in the end, I won't be destroyed in this boundless source of darkness. Fong Ping was speechless. Emperor Donghuang looked at him and smiled. Do you think you can escape this? It's impossible. You haven't gotten rid of the source land's control. It's just that it's not time yet. When the time comes, you will also become a prisoner like us. Fong Ping was speechless. At this moment, there was some bitterness in his heart. They were all a bunch of prisoners. The so-called completely solving the source land disaster was simply a joke. Of course, Fong Ping got rid of everything very soon. For Emperor Donghuang and the others, this was very hopeless. But for him, there was not much of a difference. These people wanted to exterminate the human race and destroy the seed intelligence. Now that they were included, it was actually a good thing. This was probably also the reason why the human race still existed after so many years. Because they knew that exterminating the human race was not very useful. The human race's purpose now was actually to cultivate martial artists, strengthen the immortal source, and fix the loopholes. Emperor Dongwang saw that he was deep in thought and smiled. Actually, there's still a way that I didn't mention last time. The Celestial Emperor wants to kill all of us, but we don't have to be like him. The catacombs here is actually a testing ground for Do. He cultivates the path of energy. Once he's mature, he'll harvest a bunch to fix his loopholes. His days are quite free. We in Xiong, that's because Jean repaired some cracks back then. We benefited and had more freedom. Do only achieved Dao later and could also get rid of the source land. It's because he kept harvesting those martial artists in the catacombs. Emperor Dongwang smiled. The human world can actually be used like this too, harvesting generation after generation. Fong Ping, when we first built the Immortal Source, our plan was actually like this. Immortal Source, fix the loopholes. Cultivate another generation of martial artists. Then harvest and fix again. Cultivate again, harvest again, fix again. Emperor Dongwang said softly, "This is the goal of the Immortal Source." In the end, the Celestial Emperor just had to make trouble, making things difficult for everyone. Even I had no choice but to oppose the Celestial Emperor. Although there was still cooperation, but back then I really stood on the side of the Celestial Emperor. Now, that's not so firm. Harvest? Fong Ping's eyes were cold. King Wu said coldly, "Rearing humans and harvesting humans?" These people knew that exterminating the human race could not solve the problem, and actually had such an idea. Harvest, then raise, and harvest again. Emperor Dongwang smiled. This is not just my idea alone. In the past, everyone had the same idea. Otherwise, why would the Immortal Source plan be launched 10,000 years ago? Of course, the Celestial Emperor had his own selfish motives. Otherwise, this time it would really be a harvest. The Celestial Emperor did not use the Immortal Source to fix the loopholes, but to trap and kill them. This was the reason why the Immortal Source plan had so many problems. If the Celestial Emperor really used it to fix the loopholes, then this scene might not have happened. The Celestial Emperor's plan to cultivate the Immortal Source to maturity had always been destroyed by these people. Fong Ping no longer paid attention to Emperor Dongwang and did not look at the Emperor. Instead, he looked at the Emperor Earth. At this moment, the earthly Emperor was also looking at him. Seeing Fong Ping looking at him, he smiled and said, "What are you looking at me for?" "Fong Ping, don't mess around. My Hong family has a lot of people. If you really destroy the source of Li Zhu, we won't be polite. Although I'm not as hot-tempered as I used to be, I'm not someone to be trifled with." Fong Ping was still looking at him, his eyes flickering. The earthly Emperor smiled and said, "I already said don't look, but you still look. It's useless to look. I really had a bad temper back then. I'd rather die than live." The earthly Emperor looked emotional. "Now that I'm old, I'm enjoying the joy of family. If it was back then, if I had the strength, if I had enough strength, I would directly destroy the three realms and myself. I would let the seeds play games and die together." The earthly Emperor curled his lips. "That was my idea back then. See, these few people are stopping me and wanting to kill me. What a pity that idiot Jean refused to cooperate with me. Destroy the three realms and let them die together." The earthly Emperor was very regretful. At that time, there was really hope of success. But that bastard Jean wouldn't listen to me no matter what. He insisted that my idea was too extreme, too domineering, Motherf asterisk cur. The earthly Emperor scolded, "This idiot, he made me suffer so much. Fortunately, I'm old now. Think about it. I've lived a free and unfettered life for 8,000 years, but I've earned it." Fong Ping frowned and looked at him, still silent. After a while, Fong Ping suddenly frowned and said, "Are you very close to Jean?" The earthly Emperor laughed and said, "Of course. Otherwise, why do you think he has to persuade me? He's stronger than me. He could just kill me directly. Is there any need to persuade me? It's because our relationship is too good." I opposed his plan, so he flew into a rage out of humiliation and flipped out at me at the 100 Emperors banquet. You see, he actually flipped out at me in front of so many people. That's too much, right? The earthly emperor laughed and said, "But I definitely won't agree to his stupid plan." At this moment, beside Fong Ping, Xu Xiang's face was livid. She scolded angrily. "Master did everything for the three realms. If you want to destroy the world, of course, Master won't agree to it. If we do as Master says, the three realms can at least be peaceful for tens of thousands of years." The earthly emperor was surprised and said, "I'm not living comfortably. Why should I let the three realms live comfortably for tens of thousands of years?" The earthly emperor was surprised and said with amusement, "Moreover, without power, we're just waiting to die. He might as well just kill us. His plan is bullsh*t. It's impossible for me to agree to it." He was extremely disdainful of Zhang's plan. Having said that, he said, "Fong Ping, hurry up and go home. Don't make a scene. When you're a little stronger, you can just come and kill a few more people. Why are you still staying here? Do you really want to compete with me?" His attitude was like he was lecturing his grandson. Everyone who heard him frowned. Seeing that Fong Ping still did not move, he was a little impatient. "Do you really think there's no one in the Hong family? Have you seen the four emperors in one family?" Fong Ping was slightly shocked. The next moment, the earthly emperor roared, "Little you, what are you waiting for? Let others see how strong the Hong family is." At this moment, below, in the catacombs continent, Hong Yu frowned slightly and flew out of the heavenly court. Previously, he had already died and was brought here by the earthly emperor. Not many people knew that he had returned. At this moment, Hong Yu was frowning and looking at the sky. No one knew what he was thinking. Hearing the earthly emperor's voice, he sighed softly and stepped into the air. He was already a powerhouse close to the three doors. After absorbing that living star, he was now only one step away from the three doors. Compared to people like Li Zhu and Zhang Tao, his foundation was much deeper. Rumble! With a loud bang, the third door was smashed. Hong Yu had smashed three doors in an instant. At this moment, the earthly emperor chuckled and looked at Fong Ping. "Fong Ping, you dare to offend me because you don't know how strong I am. Otherwise, you would have run away with your tail between your legs." As he said that, the earthly emperor snorted and threw something out. It was a palace. The palace grew bigger and bigger. With a rumble, it smashed three doors and fell onto the cliff. Rumble! An incomparably huge and dazzling golden palace appeared in front of them. "The heavenly court," someone said with a frown. This was the heavenly court of the past. Unexpectedly, it was not completely destroyed and was taken away by the earthly emperor. "Son, come and prove your Tao. It's that simple for the Hong family to prove our Tao. One family with four emperors. Ha!" The earthly emperor was arrogant and flamboyant. On the other side, Hong Yu had a complicated look in his eyes. In the end, he sighed and stepped into the palace. With a rumble, he smashed three doors and entered the source ground. In the source ground, there was a place where no one was present. Fruits were forming rapidly. The earthly emperor looked satisfied. He extended his hand and waved. Before long, Hong Yu was brought over. "Do you see this? I have three sons, and all of them are emperors." At this moment, the earthly emperor was extremely arrogant. "Are you comparing numbers? Our family has many too. Fong Ping, are you convinced? One family with four emperors. Apart from the earthly emperor's family, who else could it be?" The others frowned. Emperor Dong Huang frowned slightly. The emperor looked at Hong again and again, then at Hong Yu and the other two. No one knew what he was thinking, but he did not speak. As for Fong Ping, he was still looking at the earthly emperor. His eyes flickered. No one knew what he was thinking. The source ground was quiet. In the world, there seemed to be only the earthly emperor's laughter. His laughter was so wanton and flamboyant, domineering, unyielding, arrogant, savage. Someone once said that Fong Ping was like the earthly emperor. The same domineering, the same arrogant, the same unwillingness to bow. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.